We got some of the best book titles out here I've ever seen, some of the best African artwork, some of the best jewelry, some of the best incense, some of the best sage. Don't leave here. I'm asking you, don't leave here without patronizing at least 3 vendors. And let's build some black power with your black dollar. Please donate as much as you can. We're almost done with this school. And I think we have just enough to finish it. But we haven't even begun to build for this one. We will be able to host any conference. We'll be able to host any seminar, any retreat. I can't wait till we host the first annual International Black Women's Conference. I can't wait till we host the first annual International Black Men's Conference. I can't wait till we host the Black Wall Street Conference, the Black Vendors Conference, the Black Entrepreneurial Conference, the Black Farmers Conference, the Black Youth Conference, the Black Media Conference. And for those of us who know Africa as home, I can't wait till we host the Black Repatriation Conference.
Give them some, push it up, Doc, so they can get more.
Yeah.
I told you I was the Lion King.
That was perfect.
Okay, do not shoot at the drone. That is my videographer. Where the child at? Bring the child up here. Where the child at? Where the child at? Bring the baby. The baby missing? Come on up with the baby. Phone number. Thank you, Queen. We have a baby up here. Whose baby? Come on up, Natalie. We got a young brother. He's okay, all right?
Yeah, he was sleeping.
Okay, about 2 years old, maybe. He was over there sleeping. Who left the baby? Give it a minute. I think the mom or dad, they probably smoking some weed. They'll be back. Just give them a minute. I think the mom or dad, they probably smoking some weed. They'll be back. Just give them a minute. I think the mom or dad, they probably smoking some weed. They'll be back. Just give them a minute.
All right, everyone, the Cookie Crush chat. Thank you all so much for being here. The Umar Johnson FDMG saga continues. We got a little bit to get into. It won't be a long show, but I'm thankful for your presence. Let's get into it. Here we go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming.
Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this.
It's coming. FDMG. It's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
Thank you all so much for tuning on in. Welcome to another live stream here, dealing with Umar Johnson. Hope everyone had a wonderful week and weekend thus far. This will be a short show. I want to get to some receipts, and I want to discuss the property transfer, the red text on the Newcastle County, Delaware parcel search, parcel details website, and we'll get into that today. We have to get caught up on the Steve Harvey situation too, because that's been heating up, and I want to get into that at some point. If not today, we'll get into it tomorrow, depending on how long this goes. I don't think we're going to be here that long today. I want to thank everyone inside the Cookie Crush chat. I really appreciate y'all's presence. I have to start off by saying something, because Umar Johnson, he's changed the date so many times for the grand opening. And grand opening doesn't actually mean that the school is open. That just means that he wants people to come see it. We need to be clear about this. So let's get this straight right here, especially for you Umar Johnson followers. And I'm not here to berate you or disrespect you, but I have to say that if you've been following Umar for any longer than 2 years and you still believe in this FDMG school scam that it's going to open, at this point, I have to say something's wrong with you. Mentally, something's wrong. Okay, delusion. I don't want to be disrespectful, but maybe not too bright. I apologize. I just have to say it. Now, if it's been a year, okay, if it's been under 2 years, I get it. Let me even give some grace. If it's been 3 years, okay, I can see how people may still want to believe that Umar Johnson has collected millions of dollars to open up the school and that he's going to open it up every single year, but he never does it. I can see that 3 years into this. But outside of that, if you're outside of 3 years at this point, I have to say that something's wrong. And it's hard for me to say that, but it is so very true. I'm bringing this up because it was supposed to open September 3rd or 6th. Cookie Crush Hat help me out. If I think it was September 6th, right, of this year, 2024. He said we're going to open August 21st of 2023. I have the receipts on all this. August 21st of 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014. I even have it going back before 2014. And if I do decide to do this documentary, the second installment of this documentary dealing with Umar Johnson, I will show all those. I can show some of them today if you guys want me to. I can pull them up. The point being is that he's changed the date. In 2014, he said it was going to open in 2013. He's changed the date over, and it's not just August 21st. I've heard him say in September it's going to open it, and now he's saying February of 2025. But before that, he said it was going to open August 21st of 2025. But it's supposed to open September 6th, I believe, of 2024. Okay, that's just a few days away. It's not going to happen, but it never happens every single year. This is why I'm saying to you Umar Johnson followers, those of you who still think that Umar is going to open up the school, and it's been 3 years, you've been following this for at least 3 years. I understand, I got you. But anything beyond 3 years, at this point, you're delusional. And you need to wake up and realize the truth that Umar Johnson is nothing more than a scam artist. This school scam has been going on now. He conceptualized it in 2005. It's almost 20 years. So I want to say that, and I don't want you, Umar, please don't. I'm not here to disrespect anybody. Maybe you're new to this. You're just not true to this because you don't know the truth. But anyone who's been following this beyond 3 years, if you believe that Umar is going to open up an accredited school where there's faculty and staff and there's going to be students enrolled, $500 a month they're going to be paying in the hood, and he has the operating budget, which is going to be somewhere around $4.5 million per year. If you think that that's going to happen, and Umar traveling all over the world, he's supposed to be the primary caretaker for his mama at the same time. And if you still think that this is going to happen, something is wrong with you up here. Okay, it's time to come into the truth. See, this Umar Johnson saga has gone on for such a long time. I'm talking about specifically dealing with the FDMG school scam. And I've archived it, and I have all the receipts, and everything that I say here can be backed up with evidence and proof. In fact, I can start pulling up for you guys. Cookie Crush Hat, if you want me to do it, I can go back and I can pull up some of the dates that he said the school is going to open. And let me know if you want to do it. Hit the one. I'll pull up 5. Okay. We're going to look into that receipt too today that he posted. I think he posted it yesterday, where he posted that the grand opening was going to be in February now of 2025, even though a couple of weeks before that, he said it was going to be in August of 2025. Understand that a grand opening to Umar does not mean that the school is going to be open, that it's accredited and the children are enrolled. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about to where it's cleaned up enough. It's still going to look like trash and look bummy up there, like a trap bando. But in his mind, it looks good enough to have people come and check it out. Why would you have a grand opening in the middle of winter in Wilmington, Delaware, which would be in February, Black History Month? He always says that, Black History Month. The thing about Umar is he says he's going to do this, he's going to do that, but he doesn't do anything. He never completes anything. And I know why. Because his mind can't focus on anything for an extended period of time. And he has admitted that he has ADHD. I'm not using that to bash him, because there's people who have ADHD. I get that. But what I'm saying is that he's not the person that's going to bring into fruition anything of consequence, anything of tangible, anything tangible. He wants, the government to give him tangibles, but what does he produce that's tangible for Black people? I don't mean to get political. What has Umar given to Black people that's tangible outside of running his mouth? Okay, we can set that aside because a lot of what he says, again, some of the stuff he says, I'm like, oh, I can feel that. But a lot of what he says is a bunch of bull jive. Give me something that's tangible and real that Umar has done. You can't come up with one thing. Well, he was on the Breakfast Club talking about black, this, blackity black. Okay, that's not tangible. That's called running your mouth. Well, he did say that Kamala Harris is this and that. Okay, that's just him running his mouth. That's nothing tangible. Well, he did say to Steve Harvey this and that. Okay, but that's just him running his mouth. That's not anything tangible. I'm talking about something that's tangible that you can see, that you can touch, that you can go up to, that you can participate in. That's real and consistent. And I can pull up the receipt where Umar missed that he has had ADHD for his whole life. He's not the man to pull off anything. And yet he is so busy criticizing other people that are far more accomplished than he is in life. Listen, Umar's homeless right now. You Umar Johnson followers, Umar is homeless right now. You Umar Johnson followers, Umar is homeless right now. He's living, the guy is live streaming in rental cars and in hotel motels. He doesn't have a place to stay. And he's been homeless for a long time. When he was able to, he would stay inside his mama's closet, but he's not able to do that. And I know why. And many of you, people, those of you who are, because we talked about this for you members, we've talked about it, and I've given you the resources where you can go and find the receipts for yourself. There's a reason why he can't stay in his mama's closet anymore. You guys, you Umar Johnson followers, go look and see. Where's Umar? When was the last time you saw Umar live streaming inside of his office? He's a school psychologist, right? When's the last time you saw him live streaming at them trap Bandos, by the way? It's starting to get cold. It's cooling down. Ain't but a couple of months away before that snow start to hit. He's homeless. And he has been for a very long time. I got eviction paperwork. Well, I'll leave it at that. But the point is, it amazes me that Black people, and I'm not here to shame anyone. It amazes me that some Black people follow behind someone who is literally homeless and someone who has taken millions of dollars out of the Black community to fund his indigent lifestyle. He's a hobo. He travels here, he travels there, he travels everywhere. And if he didn't have the internet, he would be outside. And I'm saying this as a statement of fact. When I say that he's homeless, he's homeless. Where are we at as a people? We will follow someone and believe in someone who's a habitual liar too, by the way, and they're homeless. Umar can't even get his own life in order, let alone he got all this stuff. He gonna get other people's, Black people's life in order. He want to tell Black people everything, what you all need to do, what you need to give to him, what you need to do for him. Give me, I need. He catch it. And he's always attacking Black people, far more accomplished. They have families, they have a home, they have a car, they have their own vehicle, they got it out. Umar is unemployed. He ain't worked a job in over 10 years. Someone sent me a message, says, well, Lenon, why don't you consider Umar, his speaking engagements as a legitimate business? Well, legitimate business reports income to the IRS. A legitimate business functions as a business, not as a scam. i.e. King Randall. See, Umar will take money in advance from people for speaking engagements, and then he cancels and doesn't give the money back. Is that a legitimate business? And we can also get, no, and the answer is no, that's called a scam. He did that to King Randall, who has his own school. This young guy, he's 25 years old. He done accomplished more in his life already than Umar has at 50. And Umar takes over $3,000 for him because Umar was supposed to go down and go do some speaking for the King Randall School. And Umar decides not to show up. And then when King Randall asks for the money back, Umar doesn't give the money back. And then and we've already shown it, there's text exchanges. And what's the last thing that Umar says? He says to this young brother, he says, nigga, please. That's the guy that y'all follow. A homeless guy who's a vagabond, who ain't got a job, who don't have his own vehicle, doesn't have a legitimate business, is out here scamming on this school scam called FDMG. He's scamming with these speaking engagements, and there's a whole history of that. He did that to people out there in Canada. I got the receipts. I actually found those receipts recently. I should show that. Got them people, he asked for a deposit. They gave him the deposit. He chooses not to show up. He don't give the money back, and then they have to scramble, and they end up getting irritated genie to take his place, but he never gave the money back. That's not a legitimate business. That's a scam. He's a scammer. Everything that he does, the UNIA days, that's a scam. What I'm saying is, when are you guys going to wake up? Why would you follow someone like this? And yet he has everything to say about everybody else. Steve Harvey, is he my cup of tea? No. Did I find him funny? No. Is he funny? Yeah. But, you know, comedy is relative. Like, some people just not funny. Everyone, I guess you can say they're funny. I'm saying, is it something I'm going to put on? I'm going to watch? No. I like Dave Chappelle. You know, I like Cat Williams. You know, I like Eddie Murphy from way back in the day. That's my kind of like my cup of tea. But even still, Umar will clout chase a homeless guy on Steve Harvey. It's mind-boggling. So Umar does not have a legitimate business. He's a scam artist. Everything with him is about getting money, including clout chasing. Steve Harvey, now he's going at this other king of comedy. I can't think of his name right now. He's been going at him. Okay, we'll be getting to that over the next couple of days too. I don't mean to get sidetracked. All right. The point I want to make is that for you Umar Johnson followers, at some point you're going to have to wake up, specifically dealing with this FDMG school scam. It's been going on for over 19 years. And at some point you're going to have to come to the realization that it's just not going to happen. And if you think that it is, and you've been following for longer than 3 years, you're delusional. If it's less than 3 years, okay, you're going to find out. You're going to learn at some point. Just like many people have learned at this point. Some of the people inside the chat room right now, the Cookie Crush chat, shout out to the Cookie Crush chat, is undefeated. Y'all used to follow Umar, but you came into the truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. A scammer is a scammer. This guy got everything to say about what black men need to do. And you need to marry black women. I got videos from of him talking that talk back in, he was running game. It was in Atlanta. Atlanta a long time ago, 2015. And he's talking, yeah, we got to marry these women, and brothers get up, let them sit down, and they don't need to be standing. Yeah, that sounds all great, but where's your wife at? He's out here chasing women, chasing that cooch. That's what he do. He's a scammer and he's a coochie chaser. I want to crush that cookie. I want to crush this cookie. I want a cookie, pina colada, hot fudge, caramel. Why would you? So it's funny though. Man, Umar should have been a comedian. This guy is hilarious, but he's also a liar and a scam artist, and he's a baby mama creator who don't pay child support. He says he pays his child support in both, but he got everything to say about what black men need to be doing. Where's his wife at? He didn't even know one of his daughter's middle name until not too many years ago. What kind of man? But he got everything to say about what you black men need to be doing. Listen, I don't really care what he got to say about anything dealing with relationships. Me and my wife, we've been together now for 23 years or something like that. We got 5 kids. We're good. I ain't gonna have no man try to tell me what I need to do in relationships and in marriage when they not in a relationship and they not married. And they're out here running, chasing cooch like a hound dog in heat. How are you going to be a man in heat? That's trifling. Okay. Let's get into it for today. Thank you so much, everyone inside the Cookie Crush chat, for tuning on in. If he did lose those biddings, then it's 100% everyone's fault but his. Now, we're going to get into that next, okay? How's it going, Sigmund? Thank you for tuning on. And yeah, Umar's fake phone call. And I watched, because I've been going through all of Umar's older stuff, and I have notes. And I'm talking about back to back, now the gifts, back to back, back to back. And there's I'm gonna have to move this light. I'm sorry. Hold on. And this is if I do decide to do the back to back, and then I have probably about 5, no more than I got 6 more of these over there, and then I got a notepad. And right now, just for the notes, let me just look at how many pages I have. I got 50 pages in Word of notes dealing with Umar Johnson and the school scam. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I recently rewatched, because that's where I'm at in the timeline. I'm around the SETI rant, but I rewatched the SETI rant, and it is so disturbing, because it's one thing to watch it, but it's another thing to watch it for research purposes. And when I was watching, there's so much, I took down a copious amounts of notes just on that video alone, but I'm going through his complete archive. It's been a lot of work, but I'm doing that just in case if I decide to push forward and do the Shockumentary Part 2, then I'll have all of my receipts in order. Okay. All right. Thank you all, everyone, again for tuning on. Thanks, Sigmund, for being here as well. Hope you're doing all right. Marley Mars in the building, and Balls of Steels, Kevin Martins in the mirror. I got this. Then the phone start ringing. What's up, Derek? Thanks for tuning on in. New Vision Television. FDMG is coming to a city auction near you. There were 4 rainbow banging scenes. What are you talking about? Oh my God. Okay. There's some super chats that came through. Here's one from user 225. Says Umar says he avoids snow cookies like he wouldn't just dunk it in chocolate so it doesn't count. I'm gonna tell you right now, Umar will take anything that he can get. Okay, Umar has several addictions: turning the heat down, food, gambling, and crushing cookies. Okay, cookies is a euphemism for vagina. That's what the Umar, that he always talk about, crushing cookies. And he's been doing that for over a decade. I thought it was more recently, but I got receipts from way back. This guy's been talking like that. He's supposed to be a school principal and a school vice principal. What kind of school principal or school vice principal talks like that? And some of the stuff I heard him say in them older videos, I'm like, this is wild. Some of us as Black people, we set the, and I don't mean to make it this way, but it's the truth. We set the bar so low, and we're so desperate for leadership that we'll take some bullshit, and then we'll just uphold it, and we'll look up at it as if it's some great thing. And this guy is literally homeless. And even before, he wasn't living out of his car, living out of hotel motels and live streaming in his car and live streaming inside his hotel motel. He was staying inside his mama's closet. That's not right. I have on record several times where Umar says that the reason why his daddy sent him away, and it was either in 9th or 10th grade, was because his father felt as if Umar was a mama's boy and he was too close to his mama. And here he is now at 50, the same thing. He ain't grown up yet, but he got everything to say about every other Black man out there. I also got information about that school that he was sent to as a boarding school. This whole FDMG idea comes out of that, and it was military. That's why if you listen closely to Umar, the way that he talks, it's very aggressive, especially when it's dealing with discipline and disciplining children. And, we're going to have a Black room in the back of FDMG. And if your child acts up, we're going to pound their damn chest in. Where does he get that level of violence from and aggression? Well, from the military. His daddy was a drill sergeant for the Marines. What y'all think? And so they put him in this school. Umar's a wimp. He's still a wimp to this day. I don't mean to say it that way, but he's marshmallow. He ain't got no street in him. When he talks like he's from the street, he's not from. He went to boarding school. It's a private school. What you talking about, my guy? I was going to say my G, but I can't say that. You went to private school. In one video, he says it was white. He said it was all Black kids there. But then in another video, he says it was a white racist school. Yeah, that's because it was a private school. He got a privilege. None of his other siblings, just him. So all this street talk and SETI rant and, I'm all about this life, blah, 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 wanna be fake thug. It's just a bunch of bull jive. He ain't from the streets like that. Now, did he live in poverty? Yes, I believe so. Did he live in some rough areas? I know so. But is he from the streets like that? No, I'm not from the streets like that. But I'm not getting up here trying to act like I'm some thug, some street thug. But Umar will act like it. He's such a poser. He a crab. That's what. Let me stop. All right. Anyway, Umar will crush whatever cookie he can get. All that, Snow Bunny stuff, that's just him. He's always focusing on white women. You folks on white women like that all the time. It's because that's what you, and if he can get it, he will get it. No one know about it, he will go for it. Come on, cut it out. Woman is a woman. Okay, thanks, user 225. FDMG is not coming. Happy Virgo season. Yes. Okay, we're out of Leo. Now we're in the Virgo. I don't know. I'm just going with it. Thanks, Adriana, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. I've been doing posts for members too, like in the community tab. Okay. Thanks, Adriana, for becoming a member. By the way, Dinky brought up the $25,000 blueprints looking like wallpaper rolls. Y'all remember that? Yeah, there was a whole blueprint saga. I can pull that video up too. It was so ridiculous. And he said he paid $25,000 for some blueprints. Okay, Iceman Vamp, how's it going? Says FDMG is opening on Monday. Yes, Umar. If Umar, you let him tell it, it's opening on Monday. Now he's saying that it's open. It's going to be opening on February of 2025. I'll show the receipt in just a moment. Thanks, Iceman Vamp, for super chat. Thanks, Little Sec, for super chat. Says, did Jay Morrison sell the Black House and buy FDMG? Let me check my dividend. The last one I got, whole $1.75. We buy it back the block. Yeah, Jay Morrison, he ran some serious game, you know. And these types of charlatans, these scam artists like Umar, they know how to get into people's minds to where people will give up that money. And he was very meticulous about it. His marketing strategy was top notch. His PR initially was top notch. But see, if you can only scam so much, and at a certain point, PR is not going to help. But all of the shenanigans that Jay Morrison was doing to get into people's minds, to get into the emotional manipulation with the Tulsa real estate, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and how they destroyed Black Wall Street and the white people this, blackity black talk. That's just to stimulate people's emotions. And we're gonna buy back the block. We're gonna rebuild Black Wall Street. None of that happened. And the first thing he does when he gets all that money, $11.5 million, that was, I think, where it ended. That's the highest it had gotten at some point, was he bought himself what? The Black House. But that's just his kicker spot. And it gives the illusion that he's like presidential. A lot of these people, that's like narcissism. They want to be seen as if they're great. Umar says that he's the modern day Malcolm X. Jay Morrison said things to that effect. They call themselves, I'm king this. And some of them even call themselves God. Umar called himself the Black Christ, this type of stuff. But that's just the narcissism. So they want to present themselves as such. And so they'll spend money on the Black House. But he ends up selling the Black House. And I have the video where he said he wasn't going to do that. And that wasn't too much longer. A couple of months later, he sold it. These guys are something. And then, from what I remember, he only issued one dividend out of all of those years. And it doesn't even beat inflation. So he got people for over $10 million. Over $10 million. You guys got to see, same thing. Let me say one other thing. There was a time where there were people who they still believed in Jay Morrison, even though they hadn't gotten any type of benefit from putting their money in. One brother put in $40,000, Julian Gordon. But there were people who, even in the midst of all the madness and, where's the money going? And it's, you're not telling us what's going on, because he started to shut down lines of communication, just like Umar. He shut down line of communications with FDMG. He doesn't really talk about it anymore. And then when people bring it up, he gets all antsy and frustrated. But there were people who still wanted to believe in Jay Morrison. But the truth always comes to light. Time always tells the truth, and it's told the truth on Jay Morrison, and it's told the truth on Umar. And for those of y'all who still believe in Umar, you just stick around. You're gonna see. Thanks, Little Suck, for super chat. Laurie says gifts, Red Lobsters, gifts. Hit the PayPal. By the way, Laurie, Umar lied about when he had a PayPal. I found a receipt where he had a PayPal long before he was talking about opening up FDMG and talking about we're going to buy St. Paul's College. He had a PayPal long before that. So all of this stuff about how these black, he calls black people that he don't like Negroes. They're too lazy to go get a stamp and mail in their donation. I had to go and get a PayPal. I had to go set up a GoFundMe. I have to do the CashApp. No, he already had a PayPal long in advance of that. He lies so much. This guy's a habitual liar. And if I do decide to do this documentary, again, I'm doing all of the preliminary research now. I will show conclusively that he's a habitual liar, especially when it comes to FDMG, but other things too. Yeah, and I remember someone sent him a Red Lobster gift card. That's what I'm saying. See, he doesn't have his own job. He relies on donors to provide him with money so that he can live life. What kind of man? And all this is supposed to be about opening up a school. Well, where is the school at? You, Umar Johnson, fathers, where is the school? And don't tell me no shit like, well, the school is up in Wilmington. No, those are abandoned buildings. A school is a place of learning. Go look it up. Is Umar teaching anyone up there? Any boys, any girls? Umar's never even been a teacher, but he wants to be the teacher. He wants to be the principal. He wants to be. At one point, he was saying back in the day, he was saying that he wanted to have a Black conscious school district. Not just a school, but a school district. And he was going to be, I don't know who's supposed to, I can't remember the title. It's the title of the person who's over the school district. That was going to be his official title. But a school is a superintendent. That's what it was. I have a video where he says that he trains superintendents. The guy's a habitual liar. He don't even have an office. Ain't nobody ever seen him in the office. Where's his house? What kind of shit is this? How you Johnson follows the trip? I don't get it, y'all. Come on, cut it out. We're going to go over here to Reverend Jerry Juice. And shout out to Reverend Jerry Juice. To the best of my knowledge, this is the most recent video footage of these trap bandos up there in Wilmington, Delaware. And y'all tell me, what is this doing? Oh, I see what it's saying. Now, hold on one second. Let me see if it lets me do this. It may not. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do it. Oh, I know I can find it to another way. Let me pull it up on my external hard drive. Yeah, give me 1 second, everyone. A school is a place of learning. So if I say where is the school, I'm not saying where are these abandoned buildings located. I've known where these abandoned buildings were located before everyone else knew, besides Umar knew where it was at. Give me 1 second. Okay, Umar Johnson, FDMG is over. Okay. Let me get it on my hard drive. FDMG, I'm sorry. FDMG is over. Yeah, still not coming up. All right, well, let me do it this way. Well, it's not going to let me do that. All right, hold on 1 second, everyone. It's not going to let me. I'll just download it. I have it on my hard drive. I know for sure because we've covered it. It's just not coming up. I know. Actually, now I know where it's at. It's on my my C drive. I just never turned it over to my external terabyte USB drive. Let me save this to my desktop, and y'all tell me if this is a school. School is a place of learning, faculty and staff. You know. There's an operating budget. There's security. There's a nurse. I had to go pick my son up today from school because he wasn't feeling well. Okay? There's a principal. There's a vice principal. The list goes on and on and on. There's desk. All right. 54% downloaded. Y'all just give me 1 second here, and I got to figure out why I couldn't pull this up inside of my other browser, but I'll figure that out in just a moment. 78%. Okay, finished. All right, let me pull this up. Here we go. Let me just let this play. Here we go.
See?
I'll be right back.
How you doing, everybody? The city has fenced up the property.
And thanks, Laurie, for the super chat as well. And again, he says it's fenced off the property. I haven't verified that. Okay, I always go based upon verifications. I have to have verification and definitive receipts. Okay, but he's saying that the city fenced this off.
Let me see, all the trees is outgrown. What's going on? I'm good.
Does this look like a school? Now, if someone says, where is the school? I know the location of these abandoned buildings, but these abandoned buildings aren't a school. Look at they look abandoned. Here we go.
All of the trees is outgrown. I'm ready to get out. Let me get out. All of the trees is outgrown. The city fenced it up. So, and they, you know, the grass is high. So he's got a lot of fines from what I heard. There's a lot of tickets and fines, outgrown grass on the sidewalk. If you look back there, look how high that grass is. Now this is the main school we're talking about. This is his main school that he's talking about doing stuff to. Look how high that grass is. Look at it.
Okay, this is not a school. So you, Umar Johnson, father said, what do you mean where's a school that is? He has a school. No, this is not a school. This is a trap. It's a bando.
Look how high this is. Now this is the main school right here, where he put the bullshit FDMG shit up. Still nothing out here. Somebody's feeding cats. Bottle of water there. So somebody's been, some crackhead or something probably up here. No numbers on the school, so the school's not opening no time soon. It's not opening no time soon. Look at the mailbox. Look at the mailbox. Look at the school. Look at the old windows. Everything's, look at the walkway. It ain't even been power washed. No power wash has been here. Nothing. He hasn't done any power washing.
I guarantee you Umar is watching this right now. Umar, I didn't say you lost the properties or that you sold them. I never said that. I said that. And now, is it possible that it happened? Yes. Okay. And I'll say it right now. Based upon the receipts that I've received, because I've been in communication, I can, let me hold on 1 second. He's watching this right now. He just posted this on his Instagram page. And thanks, James, for sending this to me. Let me see here. This is from the Newcastle, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna get to this in this moment, but this is from Newcastle County Record of Deeds, and I sent them questions about well, I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is that I never said one way or the other. I said it could be, it could not be, it could be a error on the website. Those of you guys who are members, you know what I'm talking about. Hit the 1. Okay, that's the thing is I'm not going to put something out there unless I know 100%. That is factual, and I have to wait for receipts. So, and that's why I titled this. I told people that no, Umar didn't sell these properties. To the best of my knowledge, as of right now, today, he didn't sell those properties based upon the information that was sent to me by someone who works for the office, who's in charge of that. They're in charge of the website too. I'm always fair with Umar. Okay, I'm always fair. All right, well, we'll get to that in just a moment. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, let's go with this. And thanks, James, for sending me that.
He hasn't done anything. Let's go around the back and we see what we get back there. Let's see what we're going to get back here. Still the sprinkler sign. It's the same space. Sprinkler sign still in the same place. Look at this walkway. Everything's still the same. Look at this. All this bush and growing up here. Look at this.
Crazy.
These cracks not even safe to walk. I don't know who this is. But, hey, look at this disgusting. This was disgusting. This school's not opening no time soon, bro. This crap, I don't even know what kind of lock that is. But this school is not opening anytime soon. Look at this window still boarded up. Let's see if this meter running. The meter is not running. It's stuck on 49. Oh, that's not. Oh, it's on 000, so it's no electric there. There's no power there. Now, you remember the last time I came back here? I'm not going back there right now. Look at this. Look at this.
This is not a school.
That's all the way back. Last time I could at least walk through it.
To Umar Johnson fathers, this is not a school. These are abandoned buildings. Umar's watching this right now. Okay, again, I never said that the buildings were sold. You see, I pose it as a question because it is possible. And the truth is that it's still possible. Okay, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. To the best of my knowledge, and I could be wrong about this, Umar did not sell those buildings. Okay, never lied on a God not necessary. See, the truth of the matter is that it really doesn't matter because there's still no school. These are abandoned buildings. Look at this. Look at this. He's never out there either. What kind of man collects millions of dollars, $2.6, $2.7 million? Umar, I know you watching this. What kind of man collects $2.6, $2.7 million and you got the shit looking like this? And then you have the nerve to talk about what black people need to do. And you're talking about all these people who have successful lives and they're not homeless like you. They got jobs, they got careers, unlike you. They're married, they're taking care of their children, unlike you. They have their own vehicles, unlike you. They're not out here chasing after cooch at the age 50. What kind of man? And you got some nerve when you let these these properties deteriorate to this point. What kind of man does that? I know you're watching this video. See, I've always been fair with you, and I don't have to lie. I got all the receipts, and I never said that you sold these buildings. Now, it is still possible, and I'll explain that reason why, but I don't think so, to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong on that if it's true that you did sell them, I'll come back and I'll correct myself. But based upon what I know, no, you didn't sell the buildings. But because they look like straight shit, it really doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I don't understand. You Umar Johnson followers, how you guys can go for this okie doke. It's wild. Here we go.
I can't walk through it no more. It's grown all upside. Oh my God, this is bad. Let me see how far I can get back there. Yeah, it's grown all the way up to school. It's ridiculous. This is disgusting. I can't even, last time I was able to walk through here, I can't walk through here now. So, and then you have the street here. So, you know, bottom line, Umar hasn't done shit back here, man. The back alleyway behind the school is more filthy than it was when I walked through there the last time I did a video around the school. So, he hasn't done anything. It's actually gotten worse. And we're talking here, this is supposed to be...
And by the way, this is 5.5 years since he acquired these abandoned buildings. There's no reasonable excuse for this. He's a grown-ass man. A grown-ass man would have cut the grass himself. Don't make me pull up the video. Before we go, I said it's gonna be a short show. I got kicked out of my YouTube sign in. I gotta fix that just a moment. That's why I couldn't play this video. But hold on one second, everybody. I'm gonna go find this other one.
The main school. This is supposed to be the main building, and you know, it's sad, man. You know, the guy who was out here putting that fence up the other day when I stopped, just didn't have time, but he said he's behind on payments, and you know they're looking to foreclose on this and shut it down. And he's looking to lose it. So I don't know what his excuse is going to be when all this shit comes to, you know, whatever. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is the secondary school. Look at it. Mailbox there, the same as across the street. Light isn't fucking taken care of. Look at this shit. Just look at it.
This is after 5.5 years, and it's true. It looks worse today than it did when he purchased these. Okay, let me get to these other super chats real quick. Then I got to get in the chat room because I'm so behind inside chat. We got 1,000 people in, but thank y'all so much for tuning on in. If y'all can hit the like button, I appreciate it. And listen, maybe I'll do a poll at some point. I'm strongly considering doing this documentary. Again, I'm doing the preliminary research on Umar. I mean, I've done extensive research already, but I'm really getting deep into it. And then I can decide at some point if I'm going to put together a documentary, and I'll do it in segments. You know, it wouldn't be one long. Maybe I'll do it in segments, 30-minute segments, 20-minute segments, and then do a finalized version where all the segments are combined, and then we'll do a like a live stream viewing of it, something like that, and we'll make it really, really big. It wouldn't be until 2025 because it would fit with the title, the working title, which would be FDMG, Umar Johnson, FDMG, 20 years of scam. This shit's been going on for 20 years. Sal, thanks. Sal says, "What's up, Lenon? If Umar got paid to stare at a blank wall, he would fail at that. Why? Because he's too busy running his mouth all day." Yeah. Umar is a shit talker. He's a professional shit talker, and there's quite a few people who make a living doing that. Jaguar White does that. She's really, really good at it. In fact, they remind me a lot of each other. You know, I think it has something to do with the segment of the Black population. It's a cultural phenomenon, I think. Where in the case of Umar in particular, people love to hear him talk shit about other Black people. See, you Umar Johnson followers, you have the same 10 excuses. I've already written them down. I wrote them down years ago, and it always fits no matter what. And these are things that Umar Johnson has said. It's the 10 top excuses that you guys make for Umar Johnson. You just repeat it verbatim because state of mind control. It's like a cult. Is it a bona fide cult? No. Umar has a cult personality, and you have his followers, but you guys say the same thing over and over again. There's no intellectual process, no critical thinking whatsoever. And one thing you guys say is you're trying to tear another Black man down. But see, the thing is that if that is true, which it is not, okay, because manhood to me is not about a guy who's been collecting money for over a decade for a fake school that does not exist and tricking money off, gambling, turning the heat down, got food addiction, and then using his platform to chase after coochie. That's not a man to me. Who don't take care of his kids, been on child support for over 20 years, and say he paid child support in bulk and was living with his mom inside of mama closet. Now he's homeless again, living out of hotel, motel rooms and inside of his car, live streaming all the time. That's not a man to me. And as a man, I've failed miserably, but I've gotten my shit together and got up off my knees and got my life put together, at least to a degree where I can feel proud about it. And if I can do that with 5 kids and a wife, Umar should be able to do that and he ain't even taking care of his kids, and he done received millions of dollars. Ain't no excuse for that. So are you trying to tear another Black man? No, you're just repeating what Umar Johnson has said about his critics, and it's legitimate criticism. It's one thing, you have critics, but then you have liars, and I'm not one of those. I have legitimate criticism for Umar Johnson. I back everything up with receipts. I've had people criticize me, and legitimate criticism. In fact, it's what inspired me to get my life turned around. Got me a degree, doing well, doing a whole lot better on many different levels. Still not where I would like to be, but as a Black man, I'm proud about that. There's no excuse. So no, I'm not tearing a Black man down. But see, if you listen closely to Umar, I offer legitimate criticism. Where's the school? Where's all this money? How much money have you raised up to this point? He ain't giving you guys, you Umar Johnson followers, you donors, an update on how much money he's raised in what, 3 years, 4 years now? That's crazy. That's because this guy's collected $2.6, $2.7 million. At least at this point. You mean to tell me 2.6, 2.7, he can't make something pop off, something for these kids somewhere? He ain't done shit. What has he done with these kids? What boy has he educated? He ain't done a backpack drive. He ain't done for the wintertime a blanket drive. It's an impoverished community out there in Wilmington. He don't even know. Them people ain't fucking, they're not dealing with him. And he ain't dealing with them because it's about the money. It's not about giving. That's why you don't ever hear Umar saying, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to do this for you and do it. You never hear him say, I'm going to do this for the community and then do it. What does he say? He always says, I need. He's a bum. I need. He always say, I need this. Get on your cash app. Get on your cash app. Give me your money. Now this one lecture, Umar says, give me your money. I said, damn, that's some pimp game. Anyway, the point is, you guys say the same thing. That Umar Johnson critics, legitimate criticisms that you got, that we're tearing a Black man down. But see, if you listen closely to Umar, all he does is talk shit about Black people. Barack Obama, Kobe Bryant, Bill Cosby, Steve Harvey, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson. We can put together a whole list side chat room. Good question, chat. I'm so behind. There's over 500 comments in here that I have not yet seen. That's okay. It'll give me some time when I come back and watch this. I'll be in the chat room. There's a whole list. All Umar Johnson do is talk shit about Black people. And that's why people bring them on their shows to talk on their platforms to talk shit about other black people. So who's tearing down? And it's not even legitimate criticism. How you going to criticize somebody else, another black person who's a multi-millionaire and got a family, got a wife and take care of their kids and ain't living inside their mama closet and got kicked out of the closet. And now you living out of hotel, motels, Holiday Inns and in your car. You should not talk, Umar. And the difference is when I was down and out, I was still trying. You ain't even trying, my guy. And here we are all these years later, I got things turned around to where I can feel good about myself, feel good about, just where things are at. If I can do it, you have no excuse not to do it. And yet all you do is take shots at people who are more successful and more accomplished in their life. You're a bomb. You're a cyber bomb. Now, is that a statement of fact? It's a statement of fact. Is it tearing a black man down? No. Tearing a black man down is talking shit about them for no legitimate reason. And that's what Umar Johnson does continuously. Umar Johnson follows. Check this out. The next 3 videos that you watch of Umar Johnson, the next 3, I want you to take a piece of paper, take a little notepad, and write down how many times he disparages black people, how many times he disrespects black people, and how many athletes, entertainers, black athletes, black entertainers, mainly male, but he also goes after the women, politicians. Write down the names of all the people that he talks shit about. And then turn around this idea that Umar Johnson's critics who have legitimate criticisms of Umar, that they're hating on this black man, that they're trying to tear him down. Turn that around and say, wait a minute, isn't that what Umar Johnson is doing? And then ask yourself. Now, see, what's going to happen is some of you guys, you're not going to be willing to admit that truth because you're in a state of mind control. And you're going to have cognitive dissonance because it's like a cult atmosphere. But for those of y'all who are true and true to your intelligence, to your critical thinking, you're going to say, wait a minute, wow, this guy, this big head, bald head guy up here on YouTube, he was right. All Umar Johnson do is talk shit about black people. He's the biggest hater of black people. He disparages black people at every turn, and you rarely hear him target a white person by name. You rarely hear, because Umar. See, that's the thing. It's undisputable. Get your path. The next 3 videos you guys watch, and go write that down, and then get with me. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Don't get me. Just come back and watch some of these videos. I ain't got no time for all that bullshit. Okay, Sal says, "What's up, Lenon? If Umar got paid to stare at a blank wall, he would fail at that. Why? Because he's too busy running his mouth off. That's all he do. Okay, he's not a builder of anything. He's not even building a family. He's not building a relationship or anything like that. He actually said one of the reasons why he ain't dealing with you black women and marrying none of y'all is because you guys are cowards. I can pull up the receipt and play it for you right now. You guys are cowards." He talk all that talk about, yeah, we need to support the black women and blah, blah, blah. All he doing is on a coochie hunt, running game on y'all. And some of y'all give it up. That's y'all business, ain't mine. Holly B, thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Said I had dropped all my memberships, but you knew I couldn't quit you and the cookie rush. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Memberships helps. I have way more members, YouTube members I ever thought I was going to get. And it makes it a lot easier for me because I don't have to be online as much as I used to be dealing with the Umar stuff. But I'm thinking about doing a documentary. If I am, then it's going. I'm gonna have to rev it all back up again, like back in the day. Okay. Thank you, Holly B, for becoming a member and staying as a member. And some of y'all you'll come for a while and you'll come back, and then there'll be new stuff or whatever. And I have a lot of older Umar Johnson videos that aren't accessible for people, for non-members, that you can come and watch. There's so much stuff on there, so it's well worth it. Okay. Thank you so much, Holly B, and thanks for the super chat as well. How's it going, Jonathan Kidd? Thank you for being here. Thanks for becoming a member again. I appreciate it. Looks like says that's the hood. The mailman don't go below 50 miles per hour there. Yeah, it's the hood. See, those are, in fact, the year before Umar purchased these abandoned buildings, Umar Johnson followers don't know this. The year before he purchased these abandoned buildings, I'm going to put that purchase in quotations. Wilmington was ranked 6th or 7th in the nation for violent crime per capita. 6th or 7th, if memory serves me right, I think it's 6th. In the nation per capita. Why would you purchase a trap bando in the hood? And there's no security, nothing like that. There's no security up there. That's why Umar be up there shook when he don't go up there anymore. But back in the day when he used to be up there, he'd be shook. He'd be looking around like this all the time because he's scary. He's marshmallow, as we used to say back in the day. He ain't got 1 ounce of hood in him. He ain't got 1 ounce. And I'm not from the streets, but I got street smarts and I got a little hood in me. I just have to keep it, I try to just keep it. I just tried to. You see what I'm saying? But Umar, he ain't got none of that. He be up there, he be shook. See? So yeah, it's hood up there, and the idea that y'all gonna send your son there, you guys are out of you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Any parent, and let me be careful, because Umar, the thing I've noticed, and as I'm going through the older Umar Johnson content, is he shames Black parents so much, and he degrades you and disrespects you. That's why he yells. The yelling is about abuse. He abuses you guys. He abuses you. He wants to make you fall in line. It's like a coach. He's always yelling and talking shit to you followers. He'll even disparage those y'all who donated. I got some receipts on that that's going to shock y'all. Some of the shit he done said about y'all. He's abusive. See? But one of the things dealing with Umar is that when he gets to talking about you parents, and I'm noticing this more and more. The other thing I notice more and more these days is, as I'm going through older stuff, he tend to sexualize these little girls. That's a problem too. See, that's why Umar don't deal with real men. He'll deal with some of y'all men that ain't you. I'm not here to disrespect anybody, but you don't have this sense of keeping women and children protected. So you'll go along with what Umar's doing and saying stuff about Black women, or even Black girls, that is completely inappropriate, and sexualizing them and all that kind of stuff. You'll go, but real men, we don't tolerate that shit. We don't tolerate it. See? So I'm not here to try to disparage you Umar Johnson followers who are parents, because Umar talks so much shit about y'all, and I'll give examples of that if I do this documentary. I'm not going to do that to y'all, but I will say this as a statement of fact, and with all due respect, that any parent that would even consider sending their child to the hood, and for them to be under the care of Umar Johnson, something's wrong with you. You're negligent. Am I saying you're a bad parent? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that no loving parent who is protective of their child is going to put their child into a situation or into an environment where harm can take place. And in that community, in that neighborhood, harm could easily take place. And under the care of Umar Johnson, harm, verbal abuse, Umar's threatened to be beating on these kids that go to his school, physical violence. He sexualized these little girls. No, it's not happening. See, real men, we don't play that. We don't play that. Some of y'all cool with that, but real men, we not cool with that. That's why Umar don't deal with real men. Thanks to yourself for a super chat. FDMG Jumanji, that's what it looked like. It looked like Jumanji up here.
Like you. All
right, let me play this. We're gonna get into the show.
Clean. He's not even keeping the grounds clean. So I don't know. I don't know what Umar's plan is. You know, I know he's not saving Black boys. That's right. For sure. Here's another interest. Look how black this is. Look at this. Disgusting. I'm not even going to go all the way up there. Look at these leaves. It takes for a long time for those leaves to get like that. But that's his main school over there. And that's his main school over there. And you know, it is what it is, man. It just looks bad. It looks really, really bad. You know, shit. I didn't realize it got that bad because I haven't walked around the back in a while, and I kept promising to do an update, and I never did it. So today I had time to slide past here and do an update, but those weeds right there on the side of that house, on the side of that school, has to be 4 foot. I'm 6'3", so those weeds have to be at least 4 foot, 5 foot high. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. So, man, I don't know what Umar's plan is, but I'm telling anybody donating to him, come. I would like for y'all to just not hold Umar and take him for his word and ask him questions. Even when it comes to Charlemagne and all of those guys, my email, Gmail, is terronsmallwood@gmail.com. TERRON Smallwood, SMALLWOOD @gmail.com. Shoot me a Gmail, and I will personally bring y'all around here and show y'all what is really real around here. And then y'all can ask the questions. When you bring him back on that show, say, yo, listen, we've been there. We've been there to that property. Bro, it don't look like no school is opening up. You know what I mean? And hold him accountable. Hold the pressure on him. Hold the pressure on him like y'all did Baby.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan. Kid for super chat. I was able to get back into my my YouTube account. Real quick, and I know I'm like so behind in the chat room. I'm like 630 messages behind. We got 1,000 people in the building. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. What I want to get into the topic for today. I apologize for going off today, but it is what it is. I want to have a shorter show, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I want to go back though to something that I said in terms of Umar changing the dates, and people keep falling in line and believing in it. Let me start with a post that I think it's from yesterday. Let me pull this up real quick. This is from, no, it's not from yesterday. Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it? Here, let me show you all something real quick. Let me do a screen share. By the way, let me do this. Let me just go back to something and show y'all something that's just to show you how ridiculous all this is. Remember, we were watching this. I'll mute it, but we were watching this, and then earlier I showed the and shout out to Reverend Jerry Juice for going up there and taking this video. Remember, but you see how ridiculous this is. But remember, earlier he was showing this area over here, all the overgrowth. Now, Umar should have just been out here as a man and handled this himself. But the truth is that he wasn't raised to do things with his hands, you know, to be out and do like hard manual labor. And I have proof of that where he actually admits it. I can pull up the receipts. If you guys really want me to do it, I can do it. Okay. He actually admits that. So he just doesn't have this sense of as a man that you're supposed to do certain things around the house. You're supposed to do, and if you have a building and he had it for 5.5 years, that he should be at least keeping the lawn cut as a man. And there's no good excuse for why a man who's able-bodied wouldn't at least take care of that. But instead of even doing that, he had people up here doing this. This goes to show you how ridiculous this all is. No organization skills. He has no intention of opening up a school. If this is the way that he's just simply keeping the grounds cut, then how do y'all expect him to manage a full-fledged school where children are being enrolled? There's faculty, there's staff, there's teachers, there's counselors. You know, there's a lunch being served. I mean, after-school programs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Why would anyone believe this foolishness? See, there's no justification for this. See, Umar Johnson follows. See, Umar, he wants to instead of doing things professionally or even doing it himself, he'll get other people to get out here and do stuff like this and then don't pay him. Say that he's going to pay him, but then he don't pay him. Okay, and there's a whole long history of Umar doing people like this up there at them trap Bandos in Wilmington, Delaware. This is so ridiculous. Yeah, I wonder, you, Umar Johnson, do you have any justification for this? Can you explain how this is okay, how this is professional? See, and it's no wonder why these trap Bandos more recently look like this. I'm not surprised at all. Look at this. Umar does not care. He's not interested in opening up a school. It's a long con. He tells people, I'm going to open up the school. He's been saying he's going to open up the school since 2010. He said he's going to open it in 2013. In 2014, he said we're going to open in 2015. I can pull up the receipt, and I can pull up receipts for every single year. And that's why when Umar posts things like this, you Umar Johnson followers, you have to be hip to the game. Okay, he's just running game on y'all. Look at this. See this? He posted this the other day. Grand opening, Dr. Umar School for Boys, 2025 Black History Month coming soon. And then, you know, got the RGB flags, and it's festive, and people got on the African attire, the ashikis, even got a brother on there in a wheelchair. Guy down here playing a banjo and a guitar, there's an African drum, and there's balloons, it's all festive. None of this is real. This is just to keep the scam going, you see. And I can pull up year by year where Umar changed the date. He's changed the date over 20 times, over 20 times. And here he is again. And more recently, he's in this whole Umar Johnson saga, Umar said that the school was going to open September 6th, I believe, of 2024. Okay, that's right around the corner. So he changes it like he does every single year. Then he said it was going to open August 21st, 2024. And then since we've been on his ass more recently, now he's saying, oh, it's going to open Black History Month 2025. in the middle of winter in Wilmington, Delaware. You got to be kidding me. He also said that there was going to be another paint day, by the way. Here you go. This guy. It's just so janky. Black August grand finale, the FDMG paint day, the final coat and cleanup. You got some paint brushes. Then it says August 31st through September 2nd, donors only, no walk-ins. And then there's a phone number you can call to register. And he took that off his calendar. He may still do it. After you watch this video, you probably going to end up doing it. I know you watching this one. I know you watching this one based upon what you posted just a little while ago. I bet you wish you hadn't threatened me with physical violence. I bet you wish you didn't dox my personal information. I bet you wish you didn't have your followers stalking my kids and going after my wife and all this other foolishness that I've had to deal with over the years. I bet you wish you hadn't done all that. You're a scammer. You're a charlatan. You prey on these single black mothers out here to get their money and get them draws. What kind of man? And you still playing funny style with these dates, changing dates. And I can pull it up year by year because it was going to be part of the document if I decide to do it. You better watch your mouth. That's why I did the last one. I said, okay, you want to do that? You want to play games? See, I'm not the one. I'm not the one that's going to let people threaten me or try to bully me just because I'm telling the truth. I've never been like that. The truth is the truth. And I've dealt with plenty of bullies like Umar in my life in the real world. And you come at me like that sideways, and that's it. Okay, all right, let's go. You marshmallow anyway. You ain't gonna do shit. All you do is run your mouth. That's all you do. That's the one thing I learned about Umar is that all he do is run his mouth. He ain't about the shits. He ain't about the business. He ain't about nothing. I don't mean to be mean. I apologize. Umar, come on, then you don't talk like that, brother. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. I apologize. Here's the truth, though. Yeah, I apologize. I don't want to make you feel bad. Living in your mama. You can't live in your mama calls anymore. Hut says, Lenon, would you ever have a real psychologist on to debunk Umar? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary to debunk Umar. If people listen carefully enough to Umar long enough, you realize that he's on some bullshit. In fact, a lot of the stuff that I've been going through more recently in his timeline, 2012, 13, 14, a lot of stuff that he says, especially about the public education system, is very dangerous, and about ADHD, very dangerous. He has ADHD. He's admitted. I can pull up the receipt. If you guys really want me to do it, I can pull it up. He admitted it. Things that he says about special education, very dangerous. And see, because what it does is, first of all, it demonizes teachers. He's talked so much shit about teachers. See, but Umar has never taught a child in his life. See, but there are children who need professional services, but they opt out of those professional services that they can get for free because they listen to Umar and all of his race baiting bullshit rhetoric. And then it causes harm to the child. People truly underestimate the amount of damage that Umar Johnson has caused for black families and black children. There are children who are already underserved, but because Umar talks, he doesn't talk about this shit as much as he used to, but because he talks so much shit about the public education system and all this kind of stuff, that there are parents that decided, I'm not going to go get my child any special services, even though they may need them, or in some cases they know that they need them, but they decide not to because Umar, he's demonized the system in that way. And so who suffers? The children suffer. People truly underestimate the damage that Umar Johnson has caused. See, the other thing I found out about Umar is that he's been a troublemaker from the beginning. He's always been a troublemaker, a rebel rouser, as it were. But a lot of it is just his personality. He's very combative. He likes conflict. He likes to go back and forth with people. And that's why he tricked off his career as a school psychologist. This guy could have been a millionaire by now. But no, he decides to because it's a personality disorder. He always wants to go. He always wants to go against the grain, totally unnecessary. And he acts a fool. He was acting a fool back in 2005. He acts a fool in 2024, going into 2025. He tricked off his whole career. This guy spent over a decade in college, and for what? To trick it all off. But it's a personality issue. It's a mental health issue. He always wants to go against the grain. He thinks he knows everything. How do you know, Umar? I know you watch this video right now. How do you know everything? And you're so smart and you're so intelligent and you're Big Papa, but you're homeless. And you know you homeless. You're almost 50. See, you need to humble yourself. That's the one thing that happens is that if you don't humble yourself, the universe will humble you. And you've been humbled. That's why you're homeless right now. And it's only going to get worse. See, I had to be humbled. I said, damn, you know what? I got to get my shit together. Y'all it's just been fucking up. I got to get, and slowly but surely, I've been doing that. You have no excuse. You've gotten all the support that you need. And the truth is, you've gotten all the support that you needed in life to be a successful man. But your arrogance and your ego is so inflated and you think you all that, but bro, you're homeless. And if you didn't have the internet access, you would be living outside on the street in a cardboard box if you didn't have your cell phone. And that's the truth, bro. So what I'm getting at is there's really no sense in trying to debunk Umar because he's debunked himself. And in the process of all of his ramblings, see, if you guys, that's why I think the documentary would be so important because I also recognize that Umar had profound potential. It's sad too. It's so sad. He had profound potential to really make some change in this world. I'm talking about legitimate, tangible changes in this world. But he tricked it all off. And part of it is because he didn't get the type of mental health services that he needed. And I'll propose from a child to get his mind right so that he can function to his highest capacity. Instead, what he's done is he spiraled out of control. And it's so sad to see a black man who, even though he was still fronting and faking the phone and pump faking, trying to act like he's a school psychologist, he still had a chance back then and presenting himself as this sort of professional that had expertise. And if he had gone on the right path, he could have turned that into a magnificent career and then also lived a very fruitful and positive and a life of achievement. But because he didn't get the type of, and he wasn't humble enough to get it, even in his adulthood, he wasn't humble enough because he thinks he knows everything. He thinks he's the best thing on the planet, but you're homeless. But instead of getting the help that you need and the psychological service that you needed, you decided to just continue to live. And so what has happened with Umar is he spiraled further and further out of control. Now he looks like a pookie. How you go from a black professional with the suit and tie, three-piece suit and tie, and you have other professionals coming out to listen to you speak, even though a lot of what you were saying was a bunch of bullshit. But how do you go from that to now you up here looking like a pookie, live streaming out of hotel and motel rooms? You ain't got a house, ain't got a job, living live streaming inside of rental cars. You tricked off your whole life, bro. That's sad. That's why I said in the first documentary that it's really a cautionary tale for you black men. And understand that if you follow around someone like this and you run behind his skirt, you ain't going to achieve much in life. Because if your leader is Umar Johnson, then you set the bar so low. What do you have to aspire to? So therefore, if it's okay for him to be homeless and chasing women's coochies and live streaming from hotel, motel, Holiday Inns, if that's a standard and the bar that you set for him, then that means you can do the same thing, and then that's okay. That's good enough for you? No, I don't think so. But he had what he needed. He had everything he needed in order to live a fruitful, positively impactful life. And he could have been living large and had all the money that he needed to be fruitful in life. But no, that's not what he did. And it's sad because as I look at those older videos, it becomes so apparent to me how much he has fallen off to where now here we are in 2024. And you look at this guy and he looks like someone who just got done. Let me stop. It's sad. And it's a cautionary tale, you black men. See, all of us, we done had shit that we had to deal with. It could have been in our childhood. It could have been in our adulthood. Some of us still dealing with things. I'm still dealing with things. But at the very least, I can wake up in the morning and say, I'm doing better. I'm doing better than yesterday. I'm doing better than the day before. I'm doing better than last week, last month, last year, and better than 5 years ago, better than a decade. Umar can't say that. The trajectory of his life has slowly but surely descended. And it's gone to the point where now, when you look at him, he looks like a pookie. And yet he still believes in his mind. It's the narcissism. It's the ego. He still believes that he's the HNIC. He's God's gift to the world. He even calls himself the Black Messiah. That's delusional. So you Umar Johnson followers, why do you follow? And you do whatever you want to because it's your business. But why would you follow behind someone who has that level of delusion? And then you defend him too at the same time. It's crazy. It don't make no sense to me. But it is what it is. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Look in the back corner. That guy still cut. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this. This is the most recent video that I've seen. Now, there may have been another one, but this is the most recent one that I've seen. This was from a couple of months ago. I mean, the truth is, it looks worse. Jade, it looks worse, and I'm sure you guys would agree inside the chat room. It looks worse now than it did when this video was recorded. And this one's from years ago, at least 3 years ago. Look at this. And thanks for super chat. Now, there's no excuse for that. And you, Umar Johnson's followers, still think he's going to open up a school? He ain't even up there. One last point I want to make. Then we're going to get to the receipts. It sets such a bad example for black men to follow. And I can pull up the receipt where Umar says that he wasn't taught how to use his hands. And see, at the very least, as a man, you make sure that the lawn is cut. At the very least. And all he needed to do, because he's collected millions of dollars, $2.6, $2.7 million by now. All he needed to do, he said he collected on the paperwork for the IRS, for the 501(c)(3) report, for the fiscal year 2023. He said he collected $200,000, over $200,000. You mean to tell me you can't go get a lawnmower for $100, $120, or go get one of them sit-in ones and paint it red, black, and green? People would have loved that shit. They would, oh, I'm donating now. And get your big ass up because you're lazy. Umar's lazy. He just got live streams. He live streams sitting in the car. He'll live. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But he live stream laying in bed in a hotel motel. He's lazy. But you know how much people would have loved that. It would have been awesome. And you can still do it. I mean, it don't matter because you ain't opening up no school. But you can still do it. I'm trying to give you some game. Paint it red, black, and green. Put the logo on the side. You got one of these Umar Johnson followers that they'll come out there and do it for free. In fact, they'll fly out and pay you to do it because that's how you do them. These are loyal donors. You know, they'll pay you and paint it up nice and get your big ass up on there once a week and just run through this spot and then live stream it. Yeah, family. I'm mowing the lawn, FDMG. Because people would have loved it, but you're so lazy. I don't really make it personal. Umar's so lazy that he didn't even do that. See? Yeah, these guys out here doing this instead. Now he don't even care nowadays. He don't even care about none of this. He ain't up there. Umar Johnson followers. Last point for sure. Umar Johnson, and thanks, Jay. Umar Johnson followers. When's the last time you saw Umar give a tour of these abandoned buildings? How about this? How many times did you see Umar Johnson up there through abandoned buildings this year? And you take out the paint days. How many times? See, back in 2019, Cookie Crush Chat, y'all remember when Umar purchased these or acquired these abandoned buildings? Because he never provided any proof that he actually purchased them, by the way. He never provided any proof on how much he paid to purchase them. That's information that I found. And the best receipt I could find was $400,000. It could be much less than that for all we know. But that's the best receipt. I go with the receipts that I find. I don't go based on what anybody else say. I got to go with what I find. He could have paid $50,000 on it. Ain't no telling. I know people that said, well, there was a $10 thing that was a deed transfer, but that's not the actual purchase price. That has to do with keeping secret the purchase price and how you can kind of get game the system a little bit to where the purchase price doesn't become public information. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. I had that receipt before anybody else. But the point is that Umar, he doesn't even give any kind of proof of how much he purchased anything. But you remember back then in 2019, he used to be up there all the time with his followers and they're rah-rah, and some of them had pom-poms, and it was exciting. Everyone was, hey, you haters, blah, blah, blah. Here we are 5.5 years. You rarely see him up there. And what you will find is that since 2009, February of 2019 to present, over these last 5.5 years, he's gone up there less and less on average per year. And to now, he don't even go up there. He's like, you know what, this shit ain't, I'm just, give me the money. Just send me the money. Because that's all it is just about the money. I can pull up the receipt and show y'all exactly what I mean. Are we going in tonight? Good question. I'm not even in the chat room. There's 1,000 people in the comments. I ain't even seen none of them. I apologize. Just to give you guys an example of what I mean, now, Umar changing these dates. Okay, let's do this real quick. Ain't gonna take but a hot second. I showed this right here, right? Everyone see this? Okay, so now he's saying it's 2025 of Black History Month. That's when the grand openings take place. Mind you, a grand opening is not the opening of a school. That's just where he's gonna have people come up there. Y'all can come and go check it out. All right. You're not going to start your school year in the middle of winter, Umar. And I guarantee you, if he did do this in Black History Month, because that's in February, right? If I'm wrong, to correct me. If that's in February, it's not going to look like this. It's going to be snow covered and freezing. And Umar don't like the cold. He admitted that too. Says he's so soft and he's a marshmallow. He don't like the cold. He said he don't even like the fan being blown on him. Oh my God. It's really inconsequential. I'm just saying that the idea of Umar, doing this in the middle of winter, it's not going to happen. I can pull up those receipts too, because I've been doing this all this other research. Umar says it quite a few times. He don't. All right, so I showed that receipt. Let's go back to 2014. Okay, let me know if you guys can. Actually, let me do this. Let me get all this out of here so that I can get a little organized here and make sure we start to get on task. So many things I can show you all. Let me redo this screen share and let me know if you guys in the cookie crate. Then I'm gonna get in the chat room. Let me make sure this audio comes up. And let me get to this. See, I'm so behind in the chat room. And real quick, let me do these super chats so I can get back into the chat room. What's up, Brian? How's it going, man? Says Nita. I know. I'm really strongly considering, and I've been spending a lot of time doing the research into it. I got so many notes. I'm typing out the notes, and I got I think it's 50 pages at this point in Word. It's probably, if I continue on this course, it'll probably be close to, I don't know, 200 pages. But what I'll do is, as I get closer to maybe halfway through all the research based on years, halfway through the timeline with Umar Johnson, that's when I'll probably decide to go. I can go ahead and start with the first episode, if you will, or the first installment. And then if I do that, then I'll let people know, and then I'll start working in the timeline inside Premiere Pro and start to put the documentary together. But what I end up doing is if I do decide to do it, I'll just do it by segments. I'll release each segment at certain points throughout the year. And then once everything is completely done, the complete timeline is done, and then there'll be a grand finale, the last episode, if you will, then I'll put it all together and then we'll watch it as a live stream. Okay, that would be the plan if I do this. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a whole lot of time. And opportunity costs, I have to consider that as well. But thanks, Brian Teason. Thanks for being a member too. All right. If you spoke with Umar, what would you say to him? That's a good question. I would say, Umar, it's not too late. It's not too late. Every day we have an opportunity to turn things around. And with where you're at right now in life, you have to come to grips with where you're at and humble yourself enough to say, I need to make some serious changes. And the first thing, Umar, you need to do is you need to let all of this social media school scamming thing, let's let it go, because it's a heavy weight and it's a heavy burden, and it does not put you in the right mental state. I understand that depression is heavy. Suicidality is heavy too, isn't it? I've heard you, and I understand. And the last thing I want to see happen to you is anything harmful or you harming yourself. See, a lot of y'all don't know. See, but I know, Umar. But you know what? It's not too late. So what you do is you make a commitment to get your life turned around, and you start in the first place. You have to stop with this shenanigans on social media, but you're so addicted to the attention, and it feeds the narcissism and it feeds the ego. But that has been your undoing. What you do is you let all that go. You stop with the scamming, and you make a public announcement that the FDMG is not going to happen, and you apologize sincerely to the people. And that's very difficult for you to do. I understand, because of the narcissism and because of the ego. But you humble yourself enough to apologize, and you tell people that you're going to take some time and however long it takes to get your life turned around, and you let go of this FDMG school scam. And then you go and you, in the first place, go and get the mental health services that you know you need, that you've known for a long time. Since you were a child, you knew you needed. And part of that will be the substance abuse support that you're going to need in order to get that aspect of your life turned around. Humble yourself enough to recognize that you need the help and that you have the opportunity to get the help. And you make an announcement and you come with complete honesty and candor with people, and you tell them what you're doing and why it is that you're doing this and why you have to step away. And Umar, people the world over will rally to you, and people the world over, they will support you like you've never been supported before. And then over the next year, 2 or 3, you continue in this process of getting your mental health in order and getting the substance abuse issues resolved in your life and getting your mind right and your emotional state right, and let people see that. Not being online every day posting memes and talking shit about Black people and raging and acting like a lunatic and looking like a pookie. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Where they can see, instead of you descending into what you have become, they see you ascending into who you were always meant to be. And I know what you were meant to be because I've been watching these older videos, Umar. But you've tricked it all off. But it's not too late. And as people see this transformation of you, they'll be inspired in their own life. People, Black people, the whole world over, they'll be inspired in their own life to make changes, not from a standpoint of victimhood and race baiting and it's the white man this and, you know, white supremacy, all that shit put to the side. It's about what a person is going to do in their own personal life to transform themselves for the better, so that they can be a better service to their wife, to their husband, to their children, to their relatives, to their community, to the world. It's never too late. And I'll tell you one last thing, Umar, that if you decided to do that, I would be your #1 cheerleader. I would be rallying for you. I would be supporting you in any way that I possibly can. And I will speak highly of you. I would use you as an example of how a Black man who was down and out, just like I used to be, went through the process of getting his life turned around. And if I can do it with 5 kids and a wife of where I was at back then you have no excuse why you can't do it with all the support that people have afforded you that you've tricked off over the last 15, 16 years. It's not too late, brother. And if there's anything that I can do to help you to get on that path, you let me know. And if I can help you, I will. That's what I would say to Umar. And he watching this, so I've just said it. See, I'm not a Umar Johnson hater. I can't say that I'm a fan either, because I don't appreciate how he's done Black people and the type of shit that what he's done, especially tricking, preying on these Black women and sexually exploiting these Black women and sexualizing these little girls. I don't, that's just, and then guiding a lot of these Black men, the type of shit he be saying, y'all be eating that shit up. No Black men, no real Black men don't believe in that shit. That's crazy. So I'm not a fan, but I do have, there's a part of me that wants to see this guy do better. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. A part of the motivating factor for me to do these videos is for Umar to finally realize and humble himself enough to say, wait a minute, shit, I'm fucking up. I need to get this. Yeah, you have been. I've been telling you. So just go start turning things around. Is it easy? No, but I'm gonna tell you one thing, Umar, you will feel a whole lot better. You won't be dealing with this depression like you've been dealing with. You know what I'm talking about too, don't you? See, it's not too late, bro. I'm gonna tell you one last thing, Umar. I care more about you than your followers do, because they put batteries in your back to self-destruct, and that's why that's in part. I'm not blaming them, but that's in part why you're where you're at, because they don't hold you accountable for all the bullshit you've been doing for all of these years, over a decade. But I care about you more than they do. I want to see you do better, and you can. There's no excuse. You're 50, bro. It's not too late. And by the way, last point on this. And then we're going to move on. And thanks, Hutter, for the super chat, too. Let me tell y'all something. Ain't none of us getting younger. Most of us, if you're around my age, you have less years ahead of you than you have behind you. So now's the time. Umar, now's the time. And things should change a lot more quickly than we realize, for the good or for the bad. But if you want to get on the side where it's the good things, well, you got to make the positive changes in your life. That's what I've done. I'm still not where I would like to be. Some days I'm like, damn. But then the other day I'm saying, you know what? You've done better, you know, and just keep doing better and keep doing what you need to do to ascend. And you try to inspire other people to do the same and do well with your children to where they do better than you were able to do in life. And that's what this life is about. But I also recognize that my horizon, it's not too far away, relatively speaking. When you're young, it's so far away, you feel like you can do whatever you want to, whenever you want to, and that it's never going. No. You got to come to the grips with the reality. Time is always there, and it always tells the truth. And the truth is that we all go on to glory at some point. So it's better for us, whatever positive changes we need to make in our life, to get those changes done. And you will see that over time, if you keep that going, things start to change for the positive. But see, that's not what we've seen for Umar. We've seen the exact opposite. Let me give you an example. And you younger people, please hear me on this. Let me give you an example of what I mean right quick. This is the video that I just downloaded today. And we'll probably get into this one tomorrow. Okay, I'm not even going to play it. I just take a moment. This is what I mean. Just take a look at Umar. This is 2024, August. Okay. Now, let's go to 10 years ago. Here's Umar. You see this? Let's go back even further. Here's Umar about 20 years ago. See this? Here's about 20 years. Here's about 10. And this makes sense. Okay. Here's 20. Here's 10. It makes sense. But now, today, no. See, we all age and yeah, that's part of life. But see, Umar, it's sad. Umar, you're 50, man. It's not too late. It's not too late. Go get the help that you need. You know the help that you need. I just told you. There's other stuff too. And you know what I'm talking about too. Because you addicted to sex too. You know what I'm talking about. That's why you always talking about crushing cookies and you chasing after these women like that. That's not normal for a 50-year-old, bro. It's not normal behavior. It's really not even normal behavior, period, for a man. You're like a raging teenager with hormones all over the place and you can't help yourself. So you got plenty of stuff, but that doesn't mean that you can't Just take one thing. Would you take care of the mental health in the first place? Because I know it's difficult for you, bro. That's what you start with. I'm not no professional, and I'm not pretending to be. But based on what I know about you, that's where you start first. You deal with this mental health, these mental health issues. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You Umar Johnson followers, if you're new to this, you don't understand the timeline. That's why I think the documentary would be so important, because then you can see the trajectory of Umar Johnson's life. Okay, see, some of y'all, and I'm not here to demean you, but some of you guys, because I've seen Umar talk like this to you guys, but I'm not. Please don't take this the wrong way, and I apologize if you take us the wrong way. And I say this with all due respect and humbly, that some of you guys are so selfish because you want to hear Umar run his mouth. And you want to hear him run his mouth about everything and everybody else, but you don't care enough about this man to care about where he's at in his own personal life. I'm not blaming you for where he's at. I'm just saying that that's something that you have to look at critically, that as a human being, you should care. And I care about this guy. I mean, if I could help him, I would. See, people don't. I'm sorry. People don't get to this point in life unless the people around them don't care about him. And you, Umar Johnson, you don't care about him enough. See, one of these days, I hope, Umar, that you hear me. I know I clown the shit out of you and I criticize you, but you deserve it. But I hope that one day you'll see the deeper message in this. See, you're where you're at because of the decisions that you made. And it's true, I do. I care about you. I've been following what you've been doing. A lot of the crazy, I get it. And I've criticized you for it. You're still a human being. And I care about you enough to know where you're at right now in life, and to see a black man go from this right here 20 years ago, then 10 years ago, go to this. And then now 10 years later, you're at this. I know what's going on. And I care enough about you to want to see you do better. And if you decided to get your life turned around, I would be your biggest supporter, and I would cheerlead for you. And people the world over will see an example of a man who had fallen so low, but have the ability to raise himself back up and get his life turned around. And that would be the biggest and greatest message that any black man can provide for anyone else on this planet today. So I'm not here to shame you, Umar Johnson followers, but I know one thing: I care more about this guy than you do, because if you cared about this guy, you would be holding him to task and encouraging him to stop with these shenanigans and stop with the school scamming and stop with the sexually exploiting these black women and all the other stuff. And you would tell Umar, just stop all this and start the process of getting your life turned around. And he can do it. I believe he can. I apologize too for getting emotional, but it's sad to see Umar. I didn't even watch this video yet, but just looking at this picture right here. I don't even know where to go from here. I feel like I should just close this show out. We can come back tomorrow. Let me get to these other super chats. Hassa says, swing low, sweet chariot landscape. Yeah. All these different shenanigans that Umar has done. Wade in the water. Here we go. Wade in the water. All right. And I apologize, everyone. I apologize. Yeah, you did. You sent me that video. You sure did. And thank you for that. Thanks, Hassel, for super chat. Thanks, Mr. Controversy, first for his the super chat too. There's something I want to show people. There's a couple of things. So let me at least do this. I want to get to the topic that we're supposed to get to because I don't want to carry it into tomorrow. Yeah, I do plan on being back on here live. I just feel so bad for Umar. There's sometimes I really wish that I could help this guy. I wish that he could humble himself and just get the help that he needs, because he definitely needs it. I mean, we all need help at some points in our lives. There's times where I needed help. People help me out, and I really appreciate it. But Umar, he's the torrid to such a point where it's like, now's the time, bro. You're 50. You got to do it now. I want to share something on the dates, and now I'm getting to the chat room. There's like 1,200 messages in there, and I haven't even been there. But I just want to give an example of Umar changing the date. Watch this real quick. Can y'all let me know if you can hear the audio?
That we can start in next August of 2015. We won't be able to have the college fully.
Future. Let's say you acquire the college. Then what?
If I acquire the college in August, we should be ready with a couple of grades that we can start in next August of 2015. We won't be able to have the college fully operable from pre-K to 12, which is my vision. Pre-K to 12 elementary school, but we will be able to start somewhere between 4th and the 7th grade. I'm confident of that. If we get that campus this summer, we will be open next summer with a couple of grades operating. I can guarantee that.
Okay, now next summer, notice the dates down here. See, 2014. So next summer would have been, the grand opening would have been in 2015. So Umar Johnson files, even though he posts things like, listen, we're going to open up in February now of 2025. It's just, he's been doing this over and over again consistently every single year, changing the date. That's the point I want to make with that. Did Jay Morrison sell the Black House and buy FDMG? Let me check my dividend. Oh, wait, didn't I already get this? I'm so behind this chat room. This is from like an hour and a half ago. Let me get caught up inside this chat room. I've been running my mouth. Okay, you can hear it? Okay, cool. Yeah, that next summer, this has been going on for such a long time. He's a habitual liar too. Okay, let's get to what I want to get to today. All right, I apologize, everyone. We kind of got sidetracked, and I apologize for getting emotional too. I really, sometimes I worry about this guy, especially when he gets into these modes where he's inside of his car and he's looking like he's looking, and I can tell he's really struggling. It's just not, it's not good to see for anyone. I just wish more people would look at it and see what the truth is, and then try to help this guy out. Me clowning him and holding him accountable with the school scam is one thing, but that's also to kind of hopefully inspire him to make some change. I always throw stuff in here about, what Umar you can do in order to get your life turned around, and what you shouldn't be doing, and what you continue to do, what you shouldn't be doing. But at the end of the day, you're 50 and it's not too late. Okay, it's up to you, but it's not too late. So I want to pull up the topic for today. I know it's an hour and 43 minutes, but let's try to get through this in like 10 minutes and then we'll close out this show. And again, I apologize for getting emotional. This is some receipts that KKC King Kong Crazy, shout out to King Kong Crazy, KKC, he pulled up a couple of days ago. And this is the Newcastle County, Delaware. This is a parcel search. And Umar, these properties are on two separate parcels. There's on one side of the street is parcel number 260-294-0027. The other parcel is 260-294-0028. Okay, and this is what Umar calls these abandoned buildings. The owner is listed as Douglas Frederick and Garvey Marcus, RBG International Leadership Academy. And the note that is listed there says, note, property transfers related to recent parcel ownership changes are currently being processed. Okay. And so we were speculating on what this exactly meant. Now, I called the office and also sent the email. They responded to my email. And I want to tell you guys right now that it's highly unlikely that Umar actually sold these properties, even though there's this note here. And the woman, she explained to me in the email that this is not a conclusive indication that the property has changed ownership at all. Now, is it possible that it did? It is possible, but it's highly unlikely. Okay, so I want to say that right now. We'll find out once the website updates, and it should update within the next couple of weeks and maybe even a month. but I'll check back every single day to see if this updates. If it updates and says that the properties were sold, then I'll report on that. And then if it updates and says that the owner is still Douglas Frederick and Garvey Marcus RBG International Leadership Academy Inc., which would be Umar's corporation, then I'll report on that. Okay, so this just to be clear. And from my vantage point, I do not believe that these properties were sold. Okay, and Umar, I know that you are watching this video here today because of what you posted on your Instagram page just a little while ago. Okay, so I hope you hear this message as we're speaking on various topics dealing with this school scam, but also in your personal life. You have a long road ahead, but it starts with one step. And I believe that you can do it if you decide to do it. And again, if you decide to do it, I will be supportive of you, and I will definitely be cheerleading you. And I don't even want to say it that way. I'll be rocking with you as you get your life together. Okay. All right. So I want to make that clear to everyone, what's going on with that. I could be wrong. He could have sold it, but I don't think that he did. Okay. We'll find out in due time. All right. I want to wind this show down. There's other stuff I want to get to, but I feel that it'll be better, at least for me, because it's hard for me to see this guy like this. I don't even know what he was talking about in that particular video, but just looking at Umar right there, I can tell he's in a bad space. I do want to pull up one other thing. Let me do this real quick. What you making, son? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's so many ones I could pull up, but there was one I wanted to pull up. Let me see if I could find it this way. It should be. Okay, no, that's the cleanup day. This was before the cleanup day. Yeah, here we go right here. So I just want to use this as an example of back then, back in 2019, Umar was up there a lot more, and he had other people up there with him. These days, you don't see that anymore. You know, I mean, he's not even really up there anymore, but the people who used to be around him back then, they're not really around anymore either. And that's telling in and of itself, because it goes to show you that a lot of the people that used to support Umar and rock with him, they don't rock with him anymore. One love, because they realize that it's nothing more than a scam. So let me do this. There's actually two. Let me do this one first. And this is from April 26th of 2019. Then we'll do the other one, then we'll close out the show. All right, here we go. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
Peace and love, Black family. This is the Prince of Pan Africanism, King Kong Consciousness. We live inside the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, Fred Douglass building. I'm gonna let you some of the scholars at E5 Tunde University. Yes. You know what I mean?
Black power, black power, black power.
You know what I mean?
Black power, black power.
Up in there. Yeah, baby.
Okay, cool.
You got Brother Brian, no doubt, looking out for us. You know what I mean? So tell me what's your thing? Give me some words, Gail. What do you think so far to walk through the tour?
It's
How
nice.
you liking the school?
It's nice.
You feeling it? Samantha, what you think?
The potential, I see the before and the potential of the after is going to be phenomenal, tremendous.
All right, what you think, sister?
Yeah, see, Umar is not, these people aren't around, most of these people, and he's inside the larger gym. In this video, he hasn't been in that and showed that larger gym in over 5 years. That's telling in and of itself. Yeah, I remember there's that video, Dominique, where the little girl, she's carrying boxes up the steps to FDMG, the buildings, and Umar, he doesn't help at all. That was, I think it was a cleanup day. Yeah, that was a cleanup day. I could pull that up too. Here we go.
Mr. Sabrina.
I see the after and the awesome after. And what can I say? Destiny.
From a brother's perspective, how we gonna be? We gonna be all right with the kids in here? You think the boys gonna love it here?
Yes, indeed, brother. Y'all gonna be well, and y'all got an excellent teacher and a scholar.
Man. That's love. That's love. Frenchie, what you think?
Oh my goodness, the school is huge, it's spacious, it's beautiful. I can't wait to see the end results.
What type of events you can see us doing on the campus?
Oh my goodness, sports events, community events. If I time at university.
All right. What you think, Sharon?
Excited. Wow, just to kind of watch, from the ceiling to now. But I think it looks like a college campus. The classrooms are, I don't even know, speechless. Proud of you.
What you think, Tiff?
I am excited. A lot of Black children, African children are going to be protected from the claws of white supremacy, Black power, race first.
All right.
Yeah, that's a Tiff the Griff. She attacked me a lot. There's a lot that she said that was just way out. I don't even think she's around defending Umar anymore. But he disrespected her at one point. I was like, I didn't like that. Even though I didn't appreciate a lot of the lies that she was saying back then, and all the kind of crazy stuff she was saying about me and my wife, even about my kids too. I felt bad for her when he disrespected her like that, because she was his, in my opinion, she was his biggest supporter. But I don't think she's around anymore, at least not like she used to be.
Tino.
Just excited to get the young boys in and get them out, man. Just excited for everything.
All right. Sister Deanna.
This is a phenomenal campus. The school is here. We need your donations. Donate.
Douglas.
Long time coming, but we finally got it. Bring your kids here if you're concerned about the future of kids. Black power.
No doubt. Brian.
Gold Mind. You hear me? This is a place. This is Black Town. This is what we need to have here. Wilmington, Delaware. Peace.
No doubt. Sister Shawn.
Listen, history does not happen overnight. This is the start of history. I can't wait to see what comes out of here, and I can't wait to contribute.
Oh man, powerful. Douglas, West Side.
Donate.
All right.
Yes,
now,
donate. This is very powerful, very beautiful. The school is going to be off the chain.
Sister Julie, what you think of the school so far, Queen?
This is the stuff dreams are made of.
Oh man, powerful. Where'd Brother Ron go? Oh, he stepped off. I was gonna get you on there, Brother Ron, real quick. You know what I mean? You from Wilmington. You know, let them know that the community can't wait to support the movement.
That's right. It's about time something like this.
Yeah, this Brother Ron used to work for the Boys and Girls Club, but messing around with Umar, he got fired.
This coming to hit Wilmington. We got a lot of issues here. We know this brother right here can make some positive impact on our society. My thing is, if you're doing it wrong and somebody's coming in to do something different, let's do that, because if you continue to do the same thing, expecting to change, you know what that means. So let's do this thing right.
Thank you, Brother Ron. Yes, indeed, y'all. We inside the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I'm doing a tour with E5 University. You know what I'm saying? We up in here, FDMG. Get them donations in. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. Donate. Yes, sir. We need them donations, Black family. Let's get it popping. So you know what? We're going to walk back to the other side.
Okay, and then there's one more I want to show real quick. Then I want to address some of the comments in here real quick. But let me just show one more. This is from around this. I think this is the same day. But check this one out.
Is that the gym for the middle school?
Yeah, that's the gym for the middle school. We out here, Ifatunde University, FDMG Academy, Fred Douglass Building, Marcus Garvey Building, Nat Turner, Robert Sobukwe Community Center, Pan African Library. You feel me?
Yes.
This is what we do. You know what I mean? Just showing them the campus a little bit. Shout out to all the donors. Keep the donations coming.
Keep them donations coming.
You know what I'm saying?
Donate.
Tiffany stole the pom-poms as you know she would. All right.
Tiffany's a scare leader.
A scare leader.
I'm getting it.
I don't like it.
Who wanna, Hanira, let me use your phone. You ain't got it on, right? Just the light?
Yeah, this was so crazy.
Okay. So then, that's one classroom. That's two classrooms.
All right, now this is from 2019. The point I want to make is that Umar, he used to be up there a lot more back then. He's not up there consistently anymore. It hasn't been like for over 2 years now. But as this scam continues and as less and less people buy into the foolishness, a lot of these people that used to be around, they're not around anymore. And the money doesn't come in like it used to, even though he did report that he collected $200,000 last year, over $200,000 last year in donations for FDMG. But there was a time where he was raking in so much money, especially around the time where he had the GoFundMe. I think that was at over $400,000. He's not getting that type of money these days. But it goes on and on. If you guys don't mind, I want to just address just a couple of comments here because I don't want people to get the wrong impression. Okay, I know that Umar is a scammer, and I know that he's a charlatan. He's a habitual liar. He's a baby mama creator. He sexually exploits black women. The list goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, he's still a human being, and that's what I see. That's why I got emotional, because seeing that this image right here, and then because I've been doing the research into Umar. And looking at the older videos and to see this right here, this is a recent one. It was like yesterday or the day before yesterday. It just hit me. And then comparing where he was at 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and then going 10 years ago. Wait, that's not it. I think I already took the other one down. But then going to most recently to see him go to get to this point, it just it's just sad to see. I don't want to see anyone go deteriorate like this, and I've seen it in my own personal life. I've seen people in my own personal life who've deteriorated like this, and it's not good to see. Okay, and it's not something that I would wish on anyone. That being said, there are people who made some comments and they said, well, this is his own doing, and you're absolutely right about that. You know, so if you guys don't mind, I just want to take some time to respond to some of these comments, and then we'll close out the show. Okay, it won't take but a couple of minutes. Thanks everyone for being here too. I appreciate it, and I want to thank everyone who sent the super chats. I want to thank the Cook Crush chat, and thanks to the everyone, the moderators in here today. And again, I apologize for getting emotional. It's just I know where Umar's at right now, and he's not in a good place. And there's times where he gets bad like this too in the past, but this time for some reason it just hit me harder because of seeing him in the older videos and see how he presented himself. He had himself together a lot better, and he was sharp. You know, he wasn't yelling and repeating things all over the place and cursing all the time. He wasn't doing any of that back then. But times he's changed, and it's sad to see. I think the kindness is because people value the act of charity and see kindness to him as charity. My 2 cents. Yeah, I also think that there's a part of his followers who they feel bad for Umar, and some of them they don't really know why. Some of them they may think they feel bad because he's put out this false narrative that he hasn't had the support that he needed to get the school opened. But that's not true. He's received all the support that he's needed in order to make this happen. It's just that he doesn't want it to happen, and he hasn't spent the money in terms of putting it to where it needs to go to get this thing operational. He's used this money to continue to ruin his life and to live out a self-destructive lifestyle, and that's what he's been doing, and that's why he looks the way that he does today. He's homeless. How do you collect $2.6 million and you're homeless? Well, I know why. I mean, Umar uses the money for his lifestyle, and his lifestyle is self-destructive. See, but there are people that they see this man struggling, but they think that he's struggling because of the haters. They think he's struggling because of me. No. They think he's struggling for his critics. No, they think he's struggling in life and he can't get the school open because of the Cookie Crush chat. That's not why. He's struggling because of him. He can't get out of his own way. But see, Umar will never be successful at anything in life unless he gets his mind right in the first place. And his mind is so out there. It's his mental health is just it's. And Umar knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. So you're right about this. There are people who support Umar because they feel bad for him, simply because of that. But they're associated with a lot of the things that he says about him being, sabotage. No, ain't nobody sabotaging him. It's him. Am I the only person who doesn't feel sorry for him? It's okay not to feel sorry for Umar. It's just for me, because I've done so much research into the guy, that there's a part of me that always has this sense that he can get things turned around. And the fact that he hasn't after all these years, that's what makes me sad. And then when I see images of him where he's looking the way that he's looking these days, it makes me sad. You know, yeah, I criticize the guy. I've clowned the shit out of him, you know, but that's just how black people, we like that sometimes. And you know, even with my son, sometimes they do stuff and the way that I go at him, it's like, son, what are you doing? That don't make no sense. No, let me explain to you why that don't make no sense. You tripping, and then I'll explain it to him. So, you know, it's not malicious, you know, and I do see Umar, he's like a little child that lacks direction and lacks guidance. And I have a very strong fatherly part of me, and not just with my children, but with other kids too. Like if there's, you know, if I can, there's younger people at my job. When I talk to them as if I'm talking to my sons. I give them the best advice that I can give them. I try to give them encouragement, that type of thing. And I look at Umar the same way. And I clown the shit out of him too, because he's 50. Okay, he's older than I am. But there's always a part of me that it's like, okay, I'm trying to encourage you. Look, stop. You got to stop with this foolishness so that you can get your life back on track, you know? But I totally understand why people would not feel sorry for him, because what he's doing is horrible. And whether he realizes it or not, I think there's a part of him that realizes it, but I also think there's a part of him he doesn't care, because he doesn't care about people. He's like a sociopath. You know, he has some serious issues. Okay. Great show. I feel the same. I don't like seeing people in pain. Yeah, and that's the thing I have to say about me is that I'm not a very emotional guy per se. You know, like we got a new car, and my wife was so happy, but I was like, okay, well, whatever. You know, it's just different. You know, my kids like, yeah, but I'm like, okay, well, you know, it ain't no big, you know. But normal people would be like, oh yeah, this is great, and it is great. I thank the Lord. I was all thankful and all that kind of stuff. But I don't get overly excited like that. You know, I'm just not like that. But the one thing that tends to touch me is that when I see people who are suffering, it really hits me hard. You know, I don't like going to funerals. I mean, even people, like if there's someone that I don't know that much, like back in the day, but they were friends of the family, and then someone knew them and they invited, and I would go. I wouldn't cry because that person passed away. I would cry because I would see all these other people suffering as they're dealing with, you know, that knew the person closely, and there's crying and stuff. That's when I lose it. You know, same things. There's stuff online. I have a hard time watching, like when they have reunion videos where a parent hasn't seen their child, maybe the child went off to school for 4 years and they out of the country, and they come back and they have this, they record and they show it. I lose it. I just, same thing with people in the military. You know, they go off and then they come home and their wife is there and they're waiting for them and they embrace. I just lose it. They have these videos where pet owners, like if they have a dog, they'll go, they're away for, you know, 6 months or a year or 2 years, and they come back and the dog is so happy, and you can tell, and then the dog jumps into it and they jump in there. I just lose it, you know, because I don't like to see people suffering, and then when that suffering is relieved, you know, I don't know. That's just how I am. So I'm the same way with Umar. You know, there's times where Umar, he's doing better, and I can tell that he's doing better. But then there's times where I can tell he's really, really struggling. And this video right here, I can tell this is one of those time periods, and I haven't even watched it. You know, maybe we can get into it tomorrow. This is a time period where Umar is really struggling. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's his fault. You know, it is his fault. It's his fault. It's his own doing. You and me both, he's reaping what he has sown. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, I can't say that somehow it's not karma or anything like that. It is. He's reaping what he has sown. But then there's still a part of me, I still see him as a human being that has the ability and the potential to get his life turned around. You know, and Umar, you could, but I don't think, you know, at this point, you can blame it on haters and you can say that there's someone trying to tear a black man down and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, you're the one that you have to look at yourself every day in the mirror. And you have to be realistic. No, you have to be honest about where you're at in your life. And I don't mean to be talking directly to Umar, but I know he's watching this live stream today. You have to be honest about where you're at in life. And I know you're not happy. And I know that depression is kicking your ass. Okay. Trust me. I know. And I know that your stress levels, because of where things are at and being homeless again, I know that they're through the roof. I know the money's not coming in like it used to with this school scam. I know a lot of the people that used to be supportive of you, they're not supportive of you anymore. They're not around like they used to be, and you're more lonely than you've ever been since the school scam started. I understand and I know all of that. But that doesn't mean that you can't get things turned around. And so you got to be honest about where you're at in life at any given point where things are down and when you're down and out. And I've been there myself. I had to be completely honest and humble myself. And that's what you need to do. And the sooner you do it, the better. See, now, Umar, you're the only one who can admit to yourself and come to the truth and deal with the truth that you're suffering. It's your own doing, but only you can admit that. And if you are suffering and you don't like that suffering, there are alternatives to the path that you're running down right now. And I know, Umar, I've followed you long enough. There are alternatives, and you can go on a whole different path and get your life turned around. A couple other comments, and then we'll close out the show. Why are folks sad for him? He's mean, disrespectful, rude, angry, and nasty, pervert, and hateful. What's there to be said? Yeah, you're right. All these things are true, Lisa. Umar is a mean-spirited person. He's very disrespectful, especially towards Black people. He's rude. He's always angry. And yeah, he's a nasty pervert too. You're right about that. I can give plenty of examples of that. The airplane flight where he was recording that woman on the plane and her body parts. He's a pervert. I have the videos where he's recording little girls' body parts too. He's a pervert. See, that kind of stuff, I don't feel sad for him. That's why I'd be going at him and clowning the shit out of him, you know? But when I think about him being homeless and you know, living in his mama closet, when I think about him live streaming in rental cars and in hotel and motel rooms and he looking like this, that's what I feel sad. Okay. I'm not trying to justify or try to excuse his behavior. And I've never been one to do that, but it just hits me when I see him in this type of a state. Okay. Tomorrow we'll get into this video right here. I think this is one where he's going in on the comedians. But I get it. You know, am I saying that everyone should feel bad for him? No. And do I feel like he's deserving of people considering him on that level? No. I'm just saying that I do on certain times, there's certain periods in my exploration into the Umar Johnson saga where I really felt bad for this guy. And right there in that video, I can tell where he's at and I feel bad for him. Okay? And again, I apologize to people for getting emotional. It's just when I see the juxtaposition 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and then today, it just hits me a little bit differently, you know. And then I also think, okay, where is he going to be 10 years from now? You know, and if Umar, if you've gotten to this point over the last 20 years, bro, now's the time. You're 50. Now's the time. Thanks, Lisa, for the comment. DJ Goodwood says, I remember when Umar started on Sonnetters, the rest is history. Yeah, a lot of scammers came in that way, and Breakfast Club gave a lot of scammers airtime. Yeah, Polite came through Sonnetter. Polite was on the Breakfast Club. I don't remember if Jay Morrison was on Sonnetter's show, but he was on the Breakfast Club. A lot of these individuals, they kind of got their start. A lot of, there's quite a few of them. They're in jail now, but a lot of them got their start on Sonnetter TV. Yeah. See, all this lying takes my sadness for him. I know that's the other thing. You know, the things that when he starts to lie, that's why I'm like, okay, I can't feel bad for this guy. Or, you know, when he's talking about crushing cookies and all this kind of thing, it's hard to feel sad about the guy. But whenever Umar is sitting inside of his car or he's in a hotel motel room looking like he, you know, just got done turning the heat down, that's when I'm like, man, this is not good. And I feel bad for the guy. If you guys don't know, I grew up in a household where there was a lot of abuse and physical abuse and verbal abuse. And then there was also substance abuse too. And so a lot of there's things that I see with Umar where I know I can tell where he's at and I can tell where he's going, and that it makes me sad, you know, because I don't want to see anyone their life crumble like that. But on the other hand, and God's Little Princess and everyone else, on the other hand, if your life is where it's at because of the decisions that you've made as a grown man or a grown woman for that matter, well, that it is what it is, you know, and it's up to you to get things turned around, just like it was up to me to get things turned around. I'm still got a long way to go. Okay. Go-Go Junkie, Umar hasn't hit rock bottom yet. I don't think so. I don't think he has. I just hate to see him get to the rock bottom. There's points where he's gotten close in the past, but I just, it would be, for me, it would really, I just don't want to see him go. I just don't want to see it. I really don't. I don't know. In the past, I used to say that it's too late. And then I would say, no, he can still turn things around. But the truth is that it is too late if Umar doesn't humble himself and gets the mental health help that he needs. He has to start there. That's for sure. If he doesn't do that, then it's inevitable. I appreciate the message. That message, it had something I needed to hear too. Yeah, I hope people are finding some value in this discussion. It's not just about Umar and me clowning Umar and calling him to task and, exposing the school scam. It's also about the lessons that we can learn about life. And there's a lot that we can learn from people who are not living right. I've learned a lot by seeing people do the wrong thing in life. I would say I've learned more from people doing the wrong thing than I have from seeing people doing the right thing. Mustafa says, how can you claim to care about the guy, but berates him with turning the heat down? I'm confused. Well, no, I wouldn't say that I berate Umar at all. In fact, I think that Umar, he tends to berate people. I wouldn't say that I do that with Umar. To berate means to scold or criticize someone angrily. I don't see myself doing that with Umar with anger. There's humor, but not anger. So there's a difference. Maybe you're using it's just not the appropriate word to use. I have seen Umar berate other people though, but I don't do that. Now, is it possible to? So I have to take the berate part because I don't think it applies. There's probably another word that you can use that maybe would make more sense, but it just doesn't apply. I don't have anger towards Umar these days. There was a time, like after he doxed my personal information, and he was issuing physical threats of violence. He also had people that were around back then. They're not around now, but they used to attack my wife, take all this crazy stuff about my children online. It wasn't true. They said most of it was directed at me, though, saying stuff about me that wasn't true. I didn't appreciate that. But there was a point where I was angry back then, but that's many years ago. These days, I don't have anger like that towards Umar. And that was only for a short period of time, relatively speaking. So berate isn't the appropriate word because I don't chastise Umar angrily. I tend to do it in a way where there's a level of humor and there's a level of compassion too. So if we take that part out of the equation, the berate part, and we just simply look at the turning of the heat down. Turning the heat down is in reference to a video where Umar is doing a live stream and he's talking to this woman, and he says, "Hold on, let me go turn this heat down." And he gets up real quickly. You can tell he's in a rush. And he just steps outside the camera just a little bit, and you hear him very shortly after he steps off the camera. And then he comes back, and he sits down. He's going like that. Anytime you see Umar doing that, that means he's been turning the heat down. And what turning the heat down is that Umar has a substance abuse issue. I told people he has a substance abuse issue. I don't really speak on that as much these days, but he does. He has a substance abuse issue. He also has a gambling problem. He has a sex addiction problem, and he's gluttonous. He likes to eat. See, and what has happened over the years is as money has come in that was supposed to go towards opening up a school, it's gone towards his addictions more than anything else. That's why Umar looks like this today. Look, here's Umar 20 years ago. See what I'm saying? And I showed the video from 10 years ago earlier today. We don't have to rehash that. But this is a significant difference, and I know why. So this is to take this one step further, Mustafa Mitchell, can you care about someone who has a substance abuse issue? Absolutely. That's what I would say. And it doesn't have to be anything hardcore drugs or anything like that. But I mean, they could be people who's addicted to prescription drugs. Can you still care about the person? Yeah. Listen, I still care about Umar, even though I know what I know about Umar, which is more than most people, including his followers. But the fact that I know all these things about Umar and I can give a conclusive, definite, definitive timeline about his school scam and all the other stuff he's been involved with. It's not just a school scam. I still care about the guy. And I have a sense that if I didn't spend all this time over the years researching into Umar, I probably wouldn't care as much. But because I've researched into him and I know things about him that he probably doesn't even know that I know, that there is a part of me that cares about the guy because I understand. Now, again, I'm not excusing what he's done. I'm not giving him a pass on anything. But just on a human level, he's suffering. And I don't want to see people suffering, including people who have done horrible things. I just don't want to see it. Okay, now, do they deserve it? Probably. Yeah. Okay. And then two more, and then we'll be done. His ego won't allow him to ask for help. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else. You're absolutely right about this. This is one of the issues with Umar is that his ego is so inflated. He thinks he knows everything. He thinks he's beyond reproach. He thinks his life is perfect, but I know that that's not the case. No one's life is perfect, but Umar hasn't come to the reality. He's living in a delusional world. We call it Delulu. He's Delulu. And that's part of the mental health issue too. Asking for help, donations don't help Umar. Umar Johnson followers to close out this live stream. Sending him money doesn't help Umar. Okay. Putting batteries in his back doesn't help Umar. Supporting him and going after people who criticize Umar doesn't help Umar. See, what it allows him is more space and time to continue to do what he's doing, which is to scam the Black community, but then also prey upon single Black mothers and sexually exploit these single Black mothers and lie and cheat and scheme and scam. But it's all to his own detriment. It's not just hurting other people. He's hurting himself. And that's why he's where he's at today. So you're not doing a service by supporting Umar in this way. And if you think you're helping him by defending him, you're not. Tom has already told the truth on that. And if you're thinking that you're helping him by sending him money, you're not, because he's using that money to self-destruct. And that's what I've seen as someone who's not only researched extensively into Umar, but have analyzed Umar for many years now. And I'll tell you right now that what Umar has used to destroy himself the most is the financial support that he's received from his followers. Okay. And if you truly care about the guy, you would cut that off and you would hold him to task and you would encourage him to start getting his life turned around. Okay. And the last one, Lisa says, I would care if he wasn't so mean. Yeah, I know. Umar, he's mean. Okay. He's a mean-spirited person. He's a mean person. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it is that even mean people, when they get to the point where Umar's at right now in his life, he's homeless, doesn't have a job, doesn't have his own car, living in hotel motels. There's still a part of me that it's just, I want better for him. But the truth is, and I'll close out with this, that it's not my place to make that happen for Umar. It's not anyone in the Cookie Crush chat's place to make that happen for Umar. It's not in you Umar Johnson followers. It's not in your place to make that happen for Umar. That's up to Umar. And Umar, I know you're watching this live stream. Now's the time. You just had to celebrate your 50th anniversary, 50-year birthday, and ask yourself, okay, I just turned 50, but what do I have to show for it? Were my daughters around? Did I have a wife to come and celebrate with me? Did I have a significant other, someone I'm engaged to or someone I'm in a relationship with? And it's a positive, loving relationship. See? Did I have people there from all around the world that wanted to celebrate my birthday and I had a great time and I felt good about no, and you know that that's not what happened. And you have to ask the question, why? Well, part of it is the type of person that you are. You're a mean-spirited person. You don't care about anybody else. You're a scammer, except I go on and on, but I think I've already said enough in this live stream. But I'm going to tell you one thing, Umar, at 50, now's the time. And it's never too late. And you can take one step today or one step tomorrow to start going in the right direction. And you start by stopping with this school scam, because that's the biggest thing that has contributed to your ability to destroy yourself. You get that out the way, you make a public, listen, if you want me to, I can write a statement for you. PR, I'm good at that. I can write a statement for you. And you admit to the people, you admit to the donors, you admit to your critics, you admit to your supporters that this FDMG school scam situation is not going to happen and that you're not going to continue to ask for money for it again. You're not going to be changing dates anymore. You're just going to let it go and you're going to focus on your own personal life. And then you say, I know that this will upset people and there are a lot of you that will no longer support me. There's a lot of people that's going to feel betrayed by this, and a lot of people you're going to feel as if, I've let you down. But I want you to understand that I've let myself down. And my life I'm at a point in my life at 50 years old where I recognize that I have to get things turned around in my own life if I'm going to continue to live for another decade. And it's that serious. See, people, I got emotional today because I think of things and I can see the trajectory of this and I know where this is headed. Umar's 50. Then when you get to around my age, okay, I'm not quite 50, but I'm getting there. When you look at things differently. And Umar, you state that you got to get things turned around now because time is of the essence, and you know what I'm talking about. And you open up, you tell people, listen, I've suffered with depression. You know, I've suffered with suicidality. Okay, that's why when you say things like ready to die, ride or die, ready to die, and then you stop yourself, I know what's going on there. See? And see, there's times where Umar, he goes up to those abandoned buildings and it just triggers in him. Listen, oh, this is a failure. And people criticize me for this, and he doesn't feel good about being there anymore. Now, back in the day, 2019, 2020, different situation. Over the years, though, it's not, when people ask him in radio interviews, they ask him, well, what about FDMG? You can tell right away, everything shuts down. There's no joy in it, anything. Like back in the day, he'd be like, yeah, we're going to do this. No, it just shuts him down because he knows that it's a failure. And that doesn't make him feel good either. Even the idea of FDMG, it doesn't make Umar feel good. See, but the money that it brings in, that's what keeps him going. He keeps going because it brings him money. But see, Umar, you have to come and you admit to the people, hey, listen, I'm not going to do this shit anymore. It's wrong. And I should have stopped years ago. I'm not going to collect any more money. I'm going to close out my PayPal. I'm going to close out my cash. I'm going to let go of my PO box. I don't want to receive any more money from anyone. And I'm going to focus on getting my mental health together. And I got some serious substance abuse issues that I got to get under control. But I have to start with my mental health. And I'm going to start there. And what I will do is over the next couple of years, I'm going to update people as to my progress. And then Umar show that progress. That's what you do. Start caring about your hair. And I'm not talking about this, bro. Listen, because you're 50. Okay. This is not what I'm talking about. Okay. You let go of the big papa. You let go of the King Kong consciousness. Okay. And you say, listen, I have to get myself settled in. Listen, people, what I need to do is I got to get my own place. Okay. Because at 50, it's hard for me to live out of hotel motels and eating out all the time. I got to get my own place. You know, I'm the primary caretaker for my mama. I got to get her moved in so she's not living in super hood-like conditions anymore. That's what you do if you really care. And you come forward to the people and you're honest and you let them know what the situation is and just be forthright. See, Black people, we are some of the most forgiving people on the planet. And we're also very supportive of each other in our times of need. This is something that I've learned and I'm so thankful for. Okay, if it wasn't for people supporting me years and years and years ago, I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at today. And I'm still not where I would like to be, but I feel a whole lot better about where I'm at in my life. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And I would hate to even think of where I would have been without the support that I've received from people. I don't even like thinking about it. See? But it's one thing to receive the support and then it's transformative. It's another thing to receive the support and it's destructive. And so, Umar, you say, listen, I'm no longer going to receive the support because I've actually used the support that you guys sent to destroy my life. And that's in part the reason why I'm here. I've made some horrible decisions. I got to get myself my own place. I got to get myself my own car. I got to go get some mental health services. I got to get some substance abuse services. And at this time, I have to check out from all this because I got to get my life turned around. That's what you do. And Umar, if you do that, what you'll find is that there will be people, and I would not be one of them, that will criticize you for that. I'll rah you at that point. There'll be people who are no longer going to support you. But the vast amount of people who are Umar Johnson followers, they're going to follow you even more because they're going to want to see you turn your life around. And guess what? Not only are they going to follow you, but they're going to do everything in their power to help you. Because you came with the real and you were honest and you were sincere. And Black people, we are supportive of people when they're honest and sincere and they admit their faults and they admit that they're in a bad place and that they got to get their life turned around. I'm an example of that. But you got to be humble to get to that point, Umar. And I hope that this video, if nothing else, this video of all the videos I've done on you, I hope this one humbles you a little bit. Get your life turned around, bro. Stop all this foolishness and shenanigans because it's not to your benefit. Stop being lazy. See, this money that's come in, millions of dollars, it's made you even lazier than you were before. See, but no man would turn his life around, or no woman for that matter is going to turn their life around being lazy. You got to get up and go and make changes, and you do what you got to do in order to get your life turned around. And Umar, people will support you, and there'll be people that used to criticize you, and they'll no longer criticize you for the school scam and stuff. I look forward to the day where you can let this go, and I can just go, okay, thank God, he's done with this. And then I can move on. Someone got to hold you accountable. But if you did that and you were honest with the people and you came forward and you told people the truth, you would be amazed at the amount of people that they will support you, and they would love to see you get your life turned around. And then as you do that, it becomes to close out. It'll be an example for the world to see. Young black men to see who's struggling. They've been down and out like I used to. I was down and out. The young black, and I wasn't even young. Okay, but younger teenage black men see this black man. He had everything he needed to be successful, but he tricked it off. But then he came to the realization that he needed to turn his life around. And so he decided to stop with all of the crazy madness and the yelling and the screaming and repeating shit 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 times and chasing after the coochie all the time and ask for money, get on your Cash App, get on your PayPal, and turn into a minstrel show. Where younger people, they don't look at you as a leader. They look at you as a meme. Go on TikTok and go see. But if you turn all this around and then now you got younger people say, hey, listen to him now. Look at him now, though. He got cleaned up. He's not tripping on. He's not up here looking like Pookie anymore. He's not up here ranting and raging. Go back to the older Umar. I know you were still off the hinge back then too, but not like today. But start going back towards that way. And then keep going back, and then get yourself turned around. And it will be one of the greatest stories ever told in these YouTube streets. And then you can call yourself Big Papa. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, thank you all so much for tuning on in. I know this was a very much different type of a show, but it is what it is. Umar, if there's anything that you can take from this, I hope that you can take from this, that you can turn things around, and that it's never too late, and that at the age of 50, now is the time. And I want to apologize to people for getting emotional. It's just I've followed Umar for a long time, and I know he's not in a good place today. Based on the video that just looking at the image, I can tell. And to see where he was at 20 years ago and then juxtapose 10 years and then 10 years later, meaning around these days, it's sad. And I want to just share one last thing with y'all and be completely candid with you all. I worry about Umar. I don't like what he's done. I don't like what he's doing. I think he's a horrible example of black manhood and masculinity. You guys know the whole routine. Okay, he's a baby mama, created on take care of his kids. He's out there chasing coochie at the age of 50, running a school scam now for almost 20 years, scamming people, scamming King Randall, scamming different organizations. I mean, I can go on and on and on. But I still worry about the guy because at the end of the day, I recognize, and I'm not using this as an excuse, that the biggest factor that has impacted Umar's life is his mental health. And any of y'all, if you've ever struggled with any mental health issues, you know that you don't want to struggle with those issues. That is to say that it's not something that you would say, hey, listen, I want to feel like this today, or I want to have these types of thoughts. No, that's not it. People struggle because of different reasons. In some cases, it's trauma related. In some cases, it's genetics, or there's genetic factors that can play a role. In some cases, it's different levels of abuse. But see, at the age of 50, Umar, whatever you may have gone through in life to get you where you're at, there's really no excuse for you to be where you're at. Because you have received all of the help and support that anyone would need to turn their life around and to get the type of mental health services that they need. And Umar, that is your biggest issue. And what I have seen, to close out for sure now, based on going back to watching videos of you back in 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, and now I'm into 2016 with the conscious stripper and the SETI rant. In and around that time, I think it was 2015. What I've seen is that your mental health has deteriorated to the extreme. And that's why you behave the way that you do, you rant the way that you do, you repeat things over and over again. And you may say, I do it because I want to prove a point. But no, you do it because you can't help yourself. See, saying Big Papa's here, Big Papa's here, Big Papa's here, that's not proving a point. That's a mental health issue. You can't help yourself but to repeat things over and over again. I also know that you suffer from paranoia. See, you go get the help that you need, man. That's all I'm saying. You know, I worry about you, bro. Okay, you're still a human being. You're still a black man, and you've had struggles in your life, but there is no excuses at this point. But I worry about you, and I hope that if by the time you get done with this video, something in here will touch you enough, as it has touched me, to where you say, "Listen, it's time for me to make that change." Thank you all for tuning on in. Everyone is good question. I appreciate it. I want to thank the mods for handling business. I also want to thank everyone who sent in super chats. If you send in cash apps or cash apps or PayPal or super chats, I want to thank you as well. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll stay on course. I apologize for this getting emotional today and kind of getting sidetracked and stuff, but it is what it is. Some told me today though, it's like, you know, there's so much to talk about with this whole parcel number situation and on the website, but then some said, but there's got to be something more than that. And now I realize what it is. It actually inspires me. It's inspired me to do this documentary too, because I think it needs to be archived. Umar is a cautionary tale. He really is. And I just hope that other people will learn from Umar about taking the right or the wrong path. Michael Jackson once said, "I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to feel real good, going to make a difference, going to make it right." As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, the wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, because they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If they want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. All right. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in, and we'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Okay. Please enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'll talk with y'all soon. All right. Take care. Peace.